This episode of Chat Grapple on Cheap Pops is brought to you by zenpop.jp. Use the link in our description for $5 off your next order by using the code GRAPPLE.
Welcome everyone to a fucking very special episode of Chat Grapple and Cheap Pops podcast. I am Chris Dredd. I'm here with my main man Jay to the Bizzle, and we've got two homies here for the end of year awards. It is the prestigious GRAPPY Awards. So yes, JB, how you doing, big man? You bless?
I am wonderful. I was wondering how long it would take before you dropped a swear word, and it was literally in the first sentence. So,
bro,
things are going great.
We're already off on the right foot. You wouldn't be watching Chat Grapple and Cheap Pops if there weren't the odd, fuck or bugger chucked in for good measure.
And that is absolutely right, because we have two amazing guests. I'm going to say it too. We have two of the pillars of the right side of the IWC.
You don't know.
Two
the pillars. Four of the pillows.
Yeah, I'm the pillow. Yeah, they're the pillars.
Four of the pillows.
And let's get to it, because I'm going to do it. Oh shit, here we go. Our first guest. Fucking hell, man. How much shit, how many hours have I devoted listening to this guy already? I couldn't tell you, because it's, I've lost count. It's so much fucking fun listening to it. I've said it before. The guy got me through some lockdown shit when I was walking around, Sainsbury's or whatever, like on my own for like an hour, 2 hours, trying to make sense of shopping, because I'm terrible at shit like that. And, having that guy in my ears just kept me going. Bishop at TWTakes podcast. How are you, man?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. As always, I appreciate the sentiment. I think we're up to about 5 days worth of audio. If not, my math is completely off. It might be 2.5 days worth. So I think that's about as much time as we spent together in your ear holes. We've done a couple hours together on my show, on your show, and I could not be happier to be back to help give my my thoughts on who should win Bits and Bobbies this year.
Yes.
Bits and Bobbies, that's a good one.
Well, last year, that's kind of what got us closer together. You guys were saying the Grappies. I'm like, man, you should have called them the Bits and Bobbies. They were right there. And I'll never forget that, because you guys have your shtick. I know before we jumped on, Chris said some words in British that I had no clue what the fuck was happening, but we're hanging out and having a good time. So that's three of us throwing the fuck out there.
All right, me old China. How's it going, sunshine? How British do you want it, son?
Yeah. As British as you can make it, brother.
You definitely don't count Dick Van Dyke as British, before we get started.
Wait, Diagnosis Murder was my shit, man. Come on, let's go.
And secondly, but definitely not by far the least, we are welcoming the ultimate co-host. This guy's been on practically everybody's show apart from ours, and we are finally opening that forbidden door, popping a cherry, whatever you want to call it. Sweet Lord. I mean, if we didn't already like him, you only have to read the 3 facts he put on his Twitter account when they had that random 3 facts about yourself thing. This guy's like almost the ultimate good guy. It's, and we have to welcome Justin at JustInTime211. Justin, welcome. Thank you for coming. How are you?
I'm doing great. I've been waiting for this one for a while. Holy hell. Super excited. I felt it when Chris just said it before. Holy fuck.
Did I stir your loins with that one? Was it good, yeah?
Oh, deep in there. You felt it.
Let's go.
So here we are. 2021's coming to an end. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. You're not here to hear about us talk about our Christmases. you're probably not even here to hear us talk at all. You probably just think, oh shit, I accidentally pressed the wrong button. Listen to these fucks again. But here we are. It is the Grappies or the Bits and Bobbies if you want to listen to Bishop. Bishop, before we get started properly, you know what I'm going to ask you to do? Tell us where we can find you.
Yes, although I don't have it completely alliterated the way Chris does, or at least used to, find me everywhere. Easiest thing to do is go to TWTakes.podcast.com. There's a player there to sample the show. Down the bottom of the front page of TWTakesPodcast.com is all the audio platforms. You go to TWTakesPodcast.com/TWT. Get the shirts that I have in hand, fastest shipping, lowest prices, fastest shipping merch in the podcast game. Or if you want some other designs like my man JB, go to TWTakesPodcast.com/international. And there's a Teespring site. It ships globally as well with some different designs. Thank you, JB, my brother, for the purchase. At JustInTime211 made the purchase there as well. Much appreciated to both of you guys. Chris, we got to work some things out.
Now I just feel like a cunt now. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to have to go and buy one now. You've just fully made me feel like a prick. I'm sorry, dude. I'm going to do it. No worries.
But yeah, at TWTakes Podcast on Twitter, we talk all day. Our side of the IWC, it's like we've said, the name of the show is Terrible Wrestling Takes, because we can all disagree on who's right and who's wrong, who's terrible, who's not so terrible. But at the end of the day, it's about the conversation. So come on over to our side of the IWC at TWTakes Podcast on Twitter, BishopTWTakes@gmail.com if you want to send me an email with something longer than 280 characters. But TWTakesPodcast.com for all audio platforms. We'll get it done.
1,000% real on our side.
That's right. Definitely send him an email if you want to sponsor him. I'm sure he'd be happy to take some sponsorships, some free stuff, anything. Because, Chris, we're back with our good friends at Zenpop.
We are zenpop.jp. Japan boxes. They've got the Japan sweet boxes. They've got the Japan ramen boxes. They've got the Japan stationery boxes. All good shit shipped to your door. Use our promo code GRAPPLE and you will get $5 off of your order. They ship really fucking quick. They come from Japan, but it gets here literally in no time at all. So get on that. Click our link in the description. Buy yourself some good shit for the Christmas holidays. You can sit there chomping on some Japanese sweeties. And yeah, help us out, man. We told you, we don't want your money. And if you are going to pay money, we want you to get shit for it. So we ain't got no Patreon or any kind of shit like that. But we do want you to buy Japanese shit that will rot your teeth just so we can get some cool shit through the post. So cheers for that.
I don't know about you. This feels a bit like a Mount Rushmore. This is, well, 3 from Mount Rushmore on me because it's me, but fuck it.
Dude, you're well up there, man. Come on, be to yourself, bitch.
I'm the boring one compared to you three. Like, I'm cool with that.
Have the podcast.
Hey, listen, you are a fine quality thread, my friend. You may not be the garments that make us look good, but motherfucker, you hold us together.
Trust me. He's keeping us, he keeps me on the straight and narrow, 100%. If it weren't for JB, the podcast would be fucking, mate. It would be like, no one would watch it. It would probably get flagged by like FBI, MI5. You know, it would be terrible. He has to rein me in. You keep it good, bro.
Not tonight. I'm not reining nothing in.
Dude, are we going to do like some news and that? There's been some mad shit gone on this week. Quick 5 minutes now.
That's the end of the year.
What happened?
I mean, there's too much shit going on, isn't there? I mean,
well, I just wanted to say rest in peace,
start?
Jimmy Rave, man. Jimmy Rave. That was I'm a huge TNA mark. I used to watch the guy quite a bit. He was in 1PW. Fucking great character. He had his problems, he had his ups and downs, and unfortunately he passed away this week. So rest in peace, Jimmy Rave. It's about all we can really say, man. I mean, fucking wrestling's a crazy game, man. Like, you know, nowadays I think they're living a less crazy life than they probably did. But yeah, man, it's pretty hard on the body, hard on the mind, hard on everything, man. So we give a shout out to those pros that step in between the ropes and give us 110%. every single time they step in. We love them for it.
Yeah, well said, man. Yeah, one for put one up for Jimmy Rave.
Yeah, man. Boom.
Apart from losing Jimmy, I mean, there has been some news, but some of it's so a lot of it's like Twitter spats and stuff, and like, that's been going on all goddamn year.
Fuck them all. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cool with
the
that.
tagline of my show is "Go fuck yourself." You know what I mean? I got time for that shit.
I thought you said you couldn't use that as a tagline. I remember you saying that.
Well, yes. Well, because it's, if there was a Zen Pop coming my way, I don't want to say zenpop.jp, go fuck yourself.
Bro, you should hear some of the fucking ads we do for them. It is like littered with expletives, man. Like, I'm sure they don't watch the show. If they did, they'd be like, oh, fuck, what have we done? Like,
it's definitely secondary. It's definitely a secondary tagline of mine.
So let's dive right into it. Let's go with what we're here for. It's who we all think is done the best, done whatever, had the best matches, whatever, all this year. And who's dishing out 5 fucking stars? Terrific.
we don't dish out stars. We dish out lines of the beat. Like, who gets 5 lines?
Nose game on fleek.
Match of the year. Let's get started. Justin, I want to hear yours first.
Okay, I threw so many options, like in my mind, trying to come up with which one I wanted to pick. I went with Dragunov and Walter. To me, was
the second one.
The match. Yeah, was match of the year for me. It was just knock them out, drag them, freaking brawl. They just beat the ever-living snot out of each other. I remember seeing their first match, loved every second of that match. And then this second one felt like it was turned up, and I didn't even know it was possible to turn it up even more than what they did the first time. But that match, just outstanding. It was definitely probably my favorite match of the year.
The first one was our match of the year last year. So Walter Dragunov was match of the win it, Jay. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
I'm gonna make this really easy because my match of the year was Walter Dragunov too.
Yeah.
Special mention for Edge and Seth in Hell in a Cell, but I'm going with Walter and Dragunov too. I was really torn on this one, but yeah, I'm going with that one. Bishop, let's hear it.
I think I have Walter Dragunov third. And my top 2 is so tough. But I want to throw out some honorable mentions that I don't think you guys may have put in there. We all forget that Rhea versus Raquel, the last woman standing in NXT, happened in January. It was like the turn of this year through all the, I guess it was pre-CWC, and I thought they really just tore the house down, and it was like a beautiful example of how do you transition to the next champion, the next figurehead of your division. And I thought Rhea did a fantastic job, and it built her well going on to the main roster. So they did a good job there. I don't think Raquel really maintained it from there, but I really enjoyed that match. And it was so long ago, though. I think it's because it's closer to its anniversary than it is us seeing it before the end of the year. Let's not forget the performance those ladies put on. I mean, Rhea even hit Raquel with the suck it and then jumped off the lockers. A phenomenal match. Daniel Bryan's final match in WWE I thought was fantastic against Roman on SmackDown. One of my favorite Daniel Bryan matches. Cena versus Roman at SummerSlam I thought was fantastic. It was, I mean, the fact that a lot of people gave Roman shit back in the day for not being a good wrestler to help carry John through a fantastic match. I thought was another one that we can't forget this year. You already mentioned Edge and Rollins, and I think I agree with you that it's very close, but I'm actually going to put that 2 and Walter Dragunov as 3. I went back and watched it. Walter Ciampa at Stand and Deliver, I think was just artistically a match that I didn't understand to begin with. And then when I watched it back again, I go, oh my God, it was basically like the epitome of a boxing match where they just wore each other down to the point where there was just nothing left. And there's a beauty in it. I think that's my match of the year, Walter versus Ciampa, NXT Stand and Deliver.
That's a nice choice, man. That's a really good choice, Chris.
Nice. Like I say, there's a few matches that could be. It was a tough one for me as well. Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole at NXT Great American Bash. That was this year, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a pretty good match, and that was pretty much Adam Cole's kind of farewell to NXT. If I'm honest, though, that match went on a little bit too long. That's why I didn't pick it, because they fucking tore the ass out of it a bit too much. Darby Allen versus MJF. I spoke about it on the last episode. Really good match. Probably Darby Allen's best match he's had in AEW. Walter Dragunov, you know, oh man, I want to pick it, but I don't know if it will. The first one was just kind of just great. It was really great. So, but I'm torn between that and MJF versus Darby Allin, but I'm not going to pick MJF versus Darby Allin because then all the people on Twitter with like elite in their name will just think that I'm loving it off too much. So we're going to go with Walter Dragunov 2.
Okay. One more honorable mention is Kaylee Ray and Satomura. Like that was on NXT UK. I don't know. Yeah, like
yeah, you're right.
I didn't want to brush over that either, but that one, the first one was incredible.
Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa too. I thought they put on a hell of a performance. It was one of my favorite. I would say the most captivated I've been watching AEW was that match between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. The what was it? The lights out match they had.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll give them credit there too.
It's funny. I was going to put that in the choices, but the thing that annoyed me most about that match is I think that Britt Baker's been riding off that this whole fucking year, and she hasn't really improved. I think from that, she does get a mention in one of these later awards from me. But yeah, that was a good match as well, though. But the whole spiel after it and all that, she's kind of been eating off that.
I can agree with you. That's why I wanted to bring up Roman Cena. It's in a similar way. Both of those matches, they exist in a vacuum. They don't mean anything besides the match, right?
Yeah.
Even the builds beforehand aren't as important as what we actually got to see. And even Roman Cena afterwards, there's nothing of it. It doesn't mean anything anymore, right? And same thing with that's Britt Baker's claim to fame, and she hasn't done anything great since. It's almost as if it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Except it put her on that pedestal. So yeah, that's again, I say anything with Roman Cena. I was like, I have to mention it because it exists in this moment. But I think we kind of all. Well, Chris, what were your thoughts on? Sorry to hijack the show, JB. You're the only one that didn't mention Edge Rollins. Actually, Justin didn't either. But what were your thoughts on Edge Rollins?
Good match, man. Good match. I don't know, man. I think since the Royal Rumble and Edge winning it, I think I don't know, man. It's put me off everything that Edge has been doing. I think it's just in my mind, man. It doesn't mean that it wasn't a good match for what it was, but yeah.
So you busted once and you're not ready to go again.
I'm not. I'm not reloaded. I bust.
Yeah.
I bust once and I can't.
Yeah, it was an option I had for it was Rollins and Edge to be match of the year. Like it was so freaking crazy. Like I thought it was. Like I had so many other options too. I was gonna go like Bryan and Omega. I was gonna go Hangman and Bryan. I was gonna go Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. I had so many other options to go with, but Walter and Dragunov to me stuck out to me. Like that immediately was just like, I just don't know if I can put that. Like I was even gonna put this recent men's War Games match.
Yeah.
Thought it was
Okay.
pretty much
There's-
perfect, but it
there's been
just
some. Sorry, man. There's been some really good Impact matches as well this whole year. There's been
Yes.
some really like hidden gems, but maybe not to the level of anything else. But they're like, you know, let's not forget Impact. I still
Mhm.
get a little chubby on when I watch Impact sometimes.
yeah. I'm trying to
So
think
we all
of like
we all
some-
picked a WWE one. That's telling.
We all picked NXT at that.
Yeah, NXT. Now this one's different. This one wasn't included in last year's, but it's almost like a hidden gem, like Chris was talking about. Something you might have seen live. You know, if you saw a live match, have you got one? Doesn't matter if you haven't.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to go to 3 live shows this year. I went to Survivor Series, which was a childhood dream of mine to attend a Survivor Series. I know we all have nostalgia for Survivor Series. We all know it's not what it used to be. And I think it was hard not to pick Big E and Roman Reigns for this live feeling for me. The other one that came really fucking close was Fatu and Hammerstone. I was able to go to MLW and see Fatu versus Hammerstone. Hammerstone win his title for MLW. There's a lot of emotion there, but he hurt his ankle and the performance really took away from it because there was something just missing. But I tell you, Fatu is fucking amazing. Jacob Fatu is outstanding. He needs to be on a bigger platform, showing everybody everything he has. But in the moment, and when I never got the chance to do my Washington DC podcast with the family, and because let's peel back the curtain completely. I do most of my recording at like midnight Eastern time when the family's asleep. Justin's been on there. We'll talk till 2 o'clock in the morning, then I'll cut it up the next day. In DC, I put online there that I think I just saw Bianca's best match. There was a match between Bianca and Becky in DC where Bianca didn't think at all. She just did. And we all know how athletic Bianca is. We know how immature in the ring, and immature as in lack of maturation, not in underdeveloped as a personality. I think she's not a rookie. She's just not completely polished. And I watched this match, and I see it all the time. Becky leading she wasn't leading. They put on a performance that was just outstanding. I mean, we watch it on Raw. Becky gets a little bit of cheers, and then she has to make the crowd boo her. When you go to a live show for WWE, there's no mic work. Rarely is there ever mic work. The crowd was booing Becky and cheering for Bianca in a way that I was like, God damn it, I've been right since Survivor Series or since SummerSlam. I've been right the whole time. And this was in September, so there's been no comeuppance on Becky for Bianca since then, but it worked. And my best live match, Bianca versus Becky in Washington DC on September 11th. It was a fantastic match. I absolutely loved it, and too bad you guys didn't get to see it.
I think there's a T-shirt in there. Bishop was right. Does anyone else think that might be?
You know how many times I've told him that.
Or he can pat himself in the back like Barry Horowitz.
I'll tell you what was good, a good T-shirt. Did you see Roman Reigns' T-shirt? Have you seen the needle mover?
It.
Fucking hell, that was great.
Debuts it in Chicago.
Yeah, fucking yes. You know, the guy's a fucking G. He is a don. He doesn't give two shits. There's a
lot of upset people online as well about that. Like, it's just like it did the exact desired effect. Like, hilarious.
Right. White hot heat, baby.
And then he makes it to the ring at the end of the show. And what does Chicago do for him? They cheer him through the fucking roof.
Mm.
And then within 5 minutes, he's got the entire crowd booing him. Roman's the man. But we'll get to that segment.
We will. Chris, do you have a match?
Yeah, and I think it's probably the same match that you picked. I would say
most likely.
The best match that I saw live was probably Revolution Pro UK J Cup final. With Speedball Mike Bailey winning the UK Japan Cup at Revolution Pro. It was a 4-way elimination match with, what was it, Team Journey?
Yeah, Speedball Mike Bailey, Michael Oku, Luke Jacobs, and the last guy's name Connors, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Joseph Connors, something like that.
Yeah. Good,
and him
fucking,
and Oku are a team, yeah. So
yeah, that's Team Journey or something, man. I think that's what they're called. But yeah, it was a great match, man. Speedball Mike Bailey just putting in the work, man. Like, he worked his ass off. Michael Oku literally jumped over our heads onto him.
Yeah, stage dive. That was something
It was
else.
nuts. It was absolutely nuts.
And
yeah,
it was the first chance to see Luke Jacobs and what he could do. And he had a very, I mean, for me, this isn't, he's not saying that he's, you know, as polished or anywhere near that level, but he was very much a cross between William Regal and Walter. It was a very strange mix to see, because he had some of that, but he was stiff as fuck, man. Like, he was.
Oh, you could hear him
really
laying in the shot.
Really
Luke
Jacobs, like a Fit Finley.
Yeah,
it was
most definitely.
great. Yeah.
I would think Fit Finley's a cross between Walter and Regal.
Close, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. That was a great match to see live. Really enjoyed that.
And that was literally like 5 minutes away from our houses. So
it's literally walk home.
We'll take that one. Justin, have you got one for us?
I actually don't, because I've never actually even been to a show, so I can't even give you one, really.
That's cool, man. Either way, like, okay, that means like in 22, like, Justin's got to go to a show. Doesn't matter what show, any sort of mud show, you know, it doesn't
even
matter.
Some mud show, even some fucking indie mud show. Go see that.
If I can find an indie mud show, I'm gonna fucking find
some juggalo shit, you know.
Yeah, mate. Whereabouts in the States are you? Whereabouts are you, bro?
I'm in New York.
Oh, are you in New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not close enough to Brooklyn to take my Survivor Series tickets, but
yeah, no.
I tried getting him to go to Survivor Series, but I had to make the logistics work for myself. No big deal.
Right, that's
don't see any complaints on it. Still, you went there and you enjoyed it.
Oh, absolutely. Look, when WrestleMania is in London, we'll find a way for all of us to go. How about that? That's a promise I'll keep to the four of us. All right.
Hey.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. I'm game.
Man, if WrestleMania comes to London, I will eat my own ass. That's not gonna happen, bro. But yeah, I get the sentiment. But yeah, no, it'll probably be, what was I talking about? Like a Summerslam or something, or
something like like its own sort of pay-per-view, no longer like almost like, you know, the Saudis have Crown Jewel, and we had one night only back in the day, and Capital Carnage and all that shit.
Capital Carnage and that, yeah. With Vinnie Jones dishing out red cards.
Absolutely, that's the only way to go. Let's go to our male wrestler of the year. Chris, you're up.
Oh, dude, I think there is only really one choice for this, to be honest. But I would like to, again, little Maxwell, right? This guy, come on, guys, fucking allow me, okay? Humor me, okay? This guy, he's eaten shit for a good 6 months of this year. At the beginning, he was doing, and even last year, he was doing the whole fucking, you know, Jericho sing along, blah, 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 bullshit. This guy, okay, is the fucking future. He is the future, right? He's got a lot better in the ring. It doesn't help that they're putting him in with fucking developmental talent that are basically making him look like trash at the moment. You've seen AEW botches. You know, it's not fair on Maxwell. But yeah, he's my honorable mention. But there is only really one choice. And it's Roman Reigns, really. He is, you know, it's been, I'm pretty sure he was our choice last year as well, right?
That's a good question. I don't remember who we picked.
I'm pretty sure it was.
But for Chris, it's all hail the tribal chief. So
I mean, even do you know what put the cherry on my Knickerbocker glory? It was the fucking. Do you know what I mean? He put the cherry
I
on
don't.
Don't either.
You know, like a fucking. Oh, come on, man! Look, lost in translation. Like, a Knickerbocker glory is like a fucking ice cream sundae. Yeah?
Oh,
You know,
yes,
like-
yes,
okay.
absolutely. I know. Yes,
Sorry.
ice cream sundae. Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
So
that's
So what put the cherry on my ice cream sundae, right, was the needle mover t-shirt of SmackDown. Like, the guy knows what he's doing. Everyone was waiting for some kind of altercation between Roman, Heyman, the whole Brock thing. We was waiting for it to happen. But when it happened, it was just better than what we could probably have imagined. Partly because Heyman's a fucking don as well. Brock is Brock. And the tribal chief, just that guy. He's just that guy. So, you know, fuck Omega and all that. You know, I don't think AEW, I don't think they have the infrastructure at the moment. They don't have the quality roster to kind of do anything like that. They don't have it. It's all really hilarious to me that AEW was going to pride themselves on homegrown talent and everyone's just beating off to CM Punk and Bryan Danielson. So, you know, it's only one guy. It's Roman Reigns. Sorry for the long rant.
that's cool, man. Yeah, Roman. Okay, Justin.
yeah, I'm in the same boat here. It's clearly Roman. Like, I still remember when he came back last year and just everything we saw from that year, even into this year, it's been flawless. It's gotten me to be a fan of Roman again, as somebody who fell off being a fan of him before the pandemic freaking shit. This character, this tribal chief character, is fucking insane. It's nothing can touch it at this point. Like, it's gotten me to like Brock Lesnar again, and I have never really been the biggest Brock Lesnar fan. Like, I don't think you can even put anybody close to what Roman Reigns has done this year.
I mean, babyface Brock Lesnar is a thing. It's out of this world. Yeah.
Who'd have thunk it as well, to be fair? Like, you wouldn't, because he is naturally, like, really hateable. Like, people just hate. I mean, you know.
The only time we've ever seen like babyface Brock was like when he was on SmackDown and he was feuding like Kurt Angle and stuff and Big Show. It's the only time I
like
remember
jokey Brock,
babyface
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
think
another one
that's
for the tribal chief. Bishop, you're up.
Yeah, I'll diatribe before I say Roman, because I even said it last night. As of recording last night was SmackDown. I just tweeted out, does your favorite wrestler make Brock the biggest babyface of all time? I mean, I've been a Roman fan since I got back into wrestling. He is exhibit one of me getting into wrestling again, is Roman. Turn on TV, I go, that motherfucker looks like somebody I would have watched a while ago. I'm going to watch his career. And then everything broke down after that, because that was pre-Royal Rumble in Philadelphia when The Rock came out to save his ass. The second thing, I completely lost my train of thought. Holy Zoa and Terramana. I said The Rock while drinking Zoa and Terramana. I might turn into a fucking pebble right now. Oh, train of thought. Holy shit. Where were we?
The Rock.
Brock is a
Rumble.
babyface. Brock is a babyface. It's never been done this way. It's never been that electric. As I talked about a little bit before, Roman comes out with the needle mover t-shirt in Chicago, and we'll rip the Band-Aid off, right? We're dancing around it. the whole conversation over the last 6 months is, does CM Punk move the needle? Roman Reigns tells CM Punk, I move the needle. Your guy doesn't move the needle. He puts out the t-shirt. Not only that, he has 4 different personas with 5 different stars for the 5 WrestleMania main events he has on the t-shirt. He is, and it's an odometer. So he steps on the gas that moves the needle through his characters to WrestleMania main events. And you cannot tell me anybody in WWE right now that can main event WrestleMania over him. Like, the guy is doing incredible work. And this babyface Brock stuff is so amazing. People forget. Like, they want Brock to take the title off of Roman, when what was the whole conversation about Brock before this story? He takes the title, he's never on TV. He takes the title, he's never on TV. But they want Brock to get the title. Are you fucking kidding me? Does your favorite wrestler do that? Does your baby face do that? Does your heel do that? Is nobody can get Brock to be loved so much they want to see Roman lose the fucking title that they never want Brock to have because he doesn't fucking show up to TV. That's how good Roman Reigns is. My honorable mentions are Edge. I think every time he steps in the ring, he is the most important person in the wrestling world. Everything he did this year, from winning the Rumble to chasing down Roman, the story he had with Seth, even just being in the ring with Miz, making me go, holy fuck, I need Miz and Edge in my life. His presence cannot go undone. Match quality. We all picked a Walter match for match of the year. There just hasn't been enough Walter. If Walter has more matches, Walter is male wrestler of the year.
I think
is incredible.
I think he's actually going to move to the States. I think there's been some change in his personal situation, shall we say?
Okay.
Where he is now willing to go to America. So I think we are going to see him next year.
So can you rattle off 100 British euphemisms for a hard penis? Because Walter moving to the States is every single one of those for me. If we get to see this motherfucker weekly, if we get him on every fucking pay-per-view, are you kidding? He is a transcendent performer. And I don't use that lightly. Like, I'm too fucking old. Like, I went and saw Spider-Man today and I cried in one scene. Like, I got the tear come down my face because I take it in, and if it gives me something, I own it. I'm not going to fucking man up and not cry, or man up and not feel an emotion. When Walter wrestles, you stop what you're doing and you fucking watch. He just hasn't had enough matches.
It will be a tear coming out of a different eye when
absolutely.
Yeah.
One other wrestler I do have to mention, though, and I don't know where you guys fit on this, Xavier Woods. Him this year in ring against any opponent has looked more credible than he ever has in his WWE run. I know, Chris, you're probably familiar with his TNA stuff, but
same.
I've always been a fan. Yes, my bad, Justin. I've always been a fan of Xavier Woods. I always felt like he was Kofi and Big E put together in a complete package. Never had the time. He's been given the time this year, and I beg you to tell me a match that Xavier Woods disappointed. So I do think he deserves some credit, not just as the king. The accolades don't matter in this moment, because I know some of these, what the PWI 500, how long have you had the title? It matters. With Woods, it doesn't matter. He's the Cesaro of this year. You know what I mean? He is who Seth Rollins used to be before titles mattered. He is the guy who steps in the ring and has the best match every week. So I wanted to mention those 4 guys. Walter is an absolutely incredible transcendent talent, just didn't wrestle enough. Edge was never not important in everything he did. He pulled you in every fucking time. And Xavier Woods with his in-ring stuff. But Roman's talent right now, his ability to do everything that encompasses the art form of wrestling, is fucking fantastic. And not for nothing to shit on the other company real quick. He has a way of allowing his opponents to look credible in a match that doesn't look like he might lose to them. Where, that other company, their champion will spend 35 wrestling somebody that shouldn't be on their level and look like they're about to lose a bunch. When Roman looks like he's about to lose, because he loses focus, not because he's getting outworked. And I think that's a very important detail that Roman does. He hasn't been pinned in fucking 2 years. He's incredible. I fucking love Roman, and I'm glad that everybody else does.
He hasn't had an hour time limit draw though, bruv, has he? So
oh, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Sorry.
He ain't worth shit. If you can't have an hour time limit draw, sorry.
5 stars.
2.5 stars.
It was almost Justin's match of the year. If he made that match of the year, I'd have turned this fucking thing off and you wouldn't have heard the rest of it.
Wow.
Go back. Let's give a shout out to our buddy in Arizona at Ref Marsh. Go to Wrestling on the Rocks when you're done listening to us. Go listen to the watch along with me and Ref Marsh as we broke down the 1 hour time limit draw between Daniel Bryan and Hangman. It was a 1 hour match of how do we put a match together for an hour. There was zero fucking drama. The match was clean, but it wasn't shit. That match was clean, but it wasn't shit. It was 25 minutes worth of match work done over an hour. It was clean, but there was nothing to it. There was no drama. There was no story, no nothing.
You expect it to be clean. It should be clean with those two guys. It should be clean. That shouldn't, yeah.
Right, but AEW means no clean matches. It's in AEW. So why would I expect a clean match from AEW?
True. No, 100%, man. It's but that's another thing that pisses me off about AEW, man. The whole there's no heels or faces, there's no storytelling really, there's nothing like that. And then literally we've all picked Roman Reigns because of how the stories are being fucking told.
We haven't all picked Roman Reigns just yet.
Oh, right. Sorry, dude. Yeah. JB, so who have you picked for male wrestler of the year?
Well, the answer is obviously Hook. So what's the fucking point?
Send Hook.
Yeah, according to Twitter, Hook is the wrestler of the year. Like, god damn.
Wait, I lean to the left. Does that count as a hook too?
I was so close. Like, I was really undecided. It took me a good few days to figure this one out because I was really close on Seth Rollins. Very, very close. It seems like Seth has had a wonderful year. I think to wrestling and
we might have picked him last year
too. But yeah, if Roman Reigns wasn't wrestling, then Seth Rollins wins it. But we have our first full house of the evening.
Ding, 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 ding.
Roman, just too good, man. Like, there's just too much going on around it. Like, even now, like every feud Roman's been in has been special. It's been super special. Like, it's an event. It's, and we get things, like the tribal chief. He's got his family around him. It's everything like that. It's just an incredible story, and everybody's playing a brilliant part, especially Roman. So Roman gets it from me. Full house.
To your point about Seth Rollins, we don't have Cesaro being cared about against Roman without Cesaro versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Seth has almost got that Randy Savage sort of kick from the late 80s before they got fed to Hogan. It's kind of like that. But in a different way because they're heels. It's a very sort of cool flip because they're both heels. They're not being fed to baby faces. It's different times. Female wrestler of the year. I got a feeling this is going to be a full house too, but let's get started. Justin.
Well, I have a feeling that I might be the one to break that.
Yeah. He fucking knows who he's picked as well.
This fucking guy. No wonder he got fired on a different show.
My female wrestler for the year is Bianca Belair. This year was hers. She, from the Rumble to, the build with her and Sasha was shit. But the match with Sasha was insane. Like, we could have even put that as a match of the year if we wanted to. But ever since, even after she lost the title to Becky, everyone was like, oh my God, 26 seconds. You're burying Bianca. What the fuck's wrong with you? Oh my God.
Almost everyone. Almost everyone.
I remember that conversation.
We spoke about it on our show with Bishop last time.
Almost everyone.
Bishop was right. Get the t-shirt, man.
He's the one who freaking put it in my head to just see it that way. As I immediately said that the night of the show. I was like, well, what the fuck? Why are we burying Bianca? And I'm like, wait a minute. He told me everything. He's like, and then I saw other people talking about it, how she got lost in her emotions and all this stuff like that. And I'm like, why does that make so much sense? And from there, just Becky made her look like $1 million this year. And even I can say, yes, her recent match with freaking Piper Niven, because I refuse to fucking call her that other name ever. The first match they had, epic. I wish it actually had a finish instead of a count out. But their second match wasn't really the best one. But so far, I would say this year is Bianca's.
I agree. There's not much to add to it. I mean, it's been a fucking amazing year for Bianca, like all around, breaking some huge barriers to, main event and WrestleMania, stuff like that. It's just, I genuinely don't think there was anyone else for it. Becky wasn't around long enough. Britt Baker does not come into the conversation, I'm afraid. Thunder Rosa might have been closer than anyone else.
Yeah, but more for what she's been doing in other federations and all that as well, really.
True, yeah.
Not, you know what I mean? Not for what she's been doing in AEW. Like, she's been everywhere else doing bits and bobs.
Chris, are you going to add to this?
Yeah, man. I mean, Deonna Purrazzo's had a good year.
Yeah. One more.
She's been doing all right in Impact. Really good wrestler. I mean, Jordan Grace. She's been doing bits and bobs as well, but she's not even at the level. There's another quick honorable mention, not female wrestler of the year by any stretch, but Nikki Ash as well. I think she's got to get a bit of a mention. She's had a bit of shit thrown at her and she's made, chicken salad out of chicken shit. But yeah, I mean, Bianca Belair. I mean, last year we were talking about Bayley and Sasha, and Bianca was just kind of there or thereabouts. Bayley and Sasha kind of held the company on their shoulders last year, for the Gyaldem. But yeah, Bianca, she's coming to her own. Still a bit of room for improvement, I think, as well. But the fact that she can still do what she does, and still it means a lot to us. The fact that we're voting her best female of the year goes a hell of a long way to say what she is capable of as well, man. Because I mean, she's not green. No, let's not say that. But she's come a hell of a long way in a fucking year as well, from last year to this year. Jesus, she's fucking progressed by leaps and bounds. She really has come into her own. And yeah, the bullshit about, burying her in when Becky came back, but that was the whole point of Becky coming back, to make a statement like she did. And then the way that Bianca's come back from that, the reaction to it is, yeah, man, it's good shit. Real good shit.
Such good shit.
Such good shit.
Bishop, you're up.
So I had Becky and Bianca on my list, and I threw in a third one who has been sidelined for a while. And like I talked about with the men's, are you important on screen? Do you have good matches? And I wanted to give some props to Zoe Stark. I thought when she came over to NXT and debuted, and every time she's in the ring, she looks better and better. And she's been sidelined with the injury, and it sucks to not have her in that last War Games match we had, because she was the one, right? She was going to be the one in there. But I think the audible was probably Cora Jade, who ended up in that match, which that served its purpose very, very well. But yeah, I want to give some love for Zoe Stark. And I'm gonna make this not unanimous. I'm going Becky. I don't care how long she was around. You guys all said it. Since SummerSlam, Bianca is the most important wrestler we have. If SummerSlam doesn't happen, do you guys all care about Bianca as much as you do right now? And I think that's something we overlook in wrestling, is how important your opponents are. And that's the biggest disconnect with someone we haven't mentioned in this category, who is in this category for so many other podcasts, so many other lists, that Becky's ability to make her opponents look important is probably the best asset she has, yet she's also phenomenal on the microphone. She also doesn't fail in the ring often. Right now, we're on the precipice of Liv Morgan, us being disappointed at her not winning a title. Why is that? Why is that? If Liv doesn't beat Becky, why are we upset? Liv hasn't, no offense to Liv, I love Liv. I think what she stands for is phenomenal. I think her ability in the ring is wonky, but she'll get there. But why are we going to be upset that she's not going to win the title? It's because Becky's that fucking good. Why do we, and I say we in this instance with Bianca. Bianca worked with Bayley. She worked with Sasha. She worked with Bayley again. She worked with Sasha again. Why wasn't she as important then as she is right now after the 26 seconds of SummerSlam? That's Becky Lynch. The Becky Lynch factor can't go unnoticed. Becky, from August till right now, these 4 months, she put the women's division on a new playing field. Becky's my female superstar of the year, and I don't think it's close.
Okay. One for big time Bex.
You have to go and fuck everything up, Bishop. You know what I mean? We had it. It's all good, baby.
He's got that Terramana.
He's
on
like
the go. He don't
Kermit,
give a
just drinking the
fuck,
fucking
man.
tea. Yep. Fuck you, buddy. That's why we have him on, man. That's why we have you guys on. We love this
like,
shit.
it doesn't have to.
Look,
we don't have to have the same opinion, and we're
Absolutely.
here. Like,
Absolutely.
And honestly, I think in my biggest reason for picking Becky is what we, again, it's almost why I picked Walter, right? Walter had two of the best matches we saw all year, but he only had 2 matches, right? But those 2 matches, he could have been male wrestler of the year because of the wrestle. There's more to it. There's promos. There's how does your opponent look? There's all that stuff. So yes, Becky hasn't had the best matches, but when she's on TV, the edge factor, right? Edge on TV is so fucking important. But Edge didn't need Seth. You know, Edge didn't need Daniel Bryan or Roman. Edge is Edge doing his thing. He's not superstar of the year. You know, that's how I put it together. When you look at Becky and her wealth to the entire women's division, I mean, it's a new stratosphere now.
She's definitely made a huge impression in the short time she's been in the game this year. 100%. You can't say she's not come and smashed it to pieces.
Who's number 2 for you guys?
Probably Becky.
Yeah, probably Becky.
I mean, Deonna was a close one for me.
Yeah, no, Deonna Purrazzo was close for me as well.
Really
That's my
year.
top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
As much as I'm not crazy for Deonna, I probably would have put her 3rd.
And you know, fair play to her for going out in the world and doing what she's done. Like, you know, she had a rough time with NXT and all that, and it just didn't work out. And she's it's another case of chicken salad, isn't it? So
Right.
Yeah.
It's time to take our medicine here, because I didn't enjoy this category, tag teams.
I did. I think you. Yeah, I did. I loved it. Fuck you, buddy. I've got about 9 of them. I'm just
Think about it. Speak to yourself.
That's it. Fuck it, man.
Well, go on then, Chris.
I'll just please
get
myself.
You get us going.
Shall I get you going? Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Right. So there's a few, right? There's a few. And for me, tag teams are not always about the wrestling. Some of the best tag teams in the world were about the wrestling, like the Rockers, for example. They were all about innovative moves and doing, real good shit. Okay. But there's also, you know about the beat, but tag teams,
at least
there's more
one of
to
them.
it. So you've
Just
got
a front face lock.
you got FTR has got to be up there. The Acclaimed. Now, say what you don't like them. No.
Nowhere near, man. Not even.
No. An honourable mention. They're not my tag team of the year.
Cool.
But what I like what they're doing, and they are almost as green as baby shit as well. So, they've not. I mean, they've done bits and bobs, and they're just finding their way, but they're not by any stretch tag team of the year. RK Bro. Okay, RK Bro. Fucking, I just like them. And I'm not a fan of Riddle, bro. As you know, I'm not. I like what he does sometimes in the ring or whatever. But RK Bro really touched a spot for me this year. But I'm gonna say, right, my choice for tag team of the year is probably the Inspiration, aka the Iconic.
Hey.
Okay.
Right.
Good pick.
Just because, okay, I thought last year, I almost picked Billie Kay. I think I almost picked Billie Kay for female wrestler of the year, and she didn't really do much. But what she did do was just fucking fantastic. I think Australians are very similar to us in the UK with their sense of humor and the way that they are. I love the Iconics in WWE. And the fact that we thought that Billie Kay was starting to do a few bits in WWE. We thought that Peyton Royce, she had a really good promo last year. And, we thought that, they were trying to give her a bit of a push or whatever. And then boom, out of the blue, both of them were turfed out on their arse. And it was a bit disappointing because we thought, oh, fuck, it was a bit sad or whatever. But they're doing really well. I'm enjoying what they're doing in Impact. They had good matches again. I mean, the problem with Impact is, again, like what Bishop was saying, they don't really have the opponents. They don't really have. That's why it's almost a bit of it's a good pick, but it's a shit pick because they're doing well in the small pond that they are. But I would love to see them again. I thought last year that maybe they were going to bring the Iconics back together again in WWE, which I thought would have been a good thing, which I thought should have happened. But alas, it never did. So I think that's why I'm picking them this year, because RK Bro for me was probably, it's a toss up between them two. So I can't really make up my mind. I think, but also I know it's fucking, some of you might hate me for this, but AJ Styles and Omos, man, like I'm a huge fan of that shit. I really am. Like AJ is, we've said this on many a show. Jordan asked me before, who's your favorite wrestler of all time? And I probably said AJ Styles for me. He's probably, from stuff he was doing in the indies, from when we watched him come over and do International Showdown, all those years ago. The guy's been at it for years. And he is, I think Bishop said, he is the best probably at doing everything. He can just do everything really well. And he is becoming a bit stale in WWE now, though. Like I think Bishop said again, he's an AJ Styles match is an AJ Styles match now. He's kind of needs to be a bit more innovative in what he's doing, which is why I thought him being with Omos, or how do you pronounce it? Omos.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He's my best friend. You see my picture? I met him.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. So, I thought that would give him a new lease of life. That whole thing. So, but yeah, sorry to go on. But yeah, it's basically, it was between RK Bro and the Inspiration. But yeah.
Bishop, if I can stop you from getting on the Bluetooth for 5 seconds, can you tell us who your favorite tag team
He's
is?
popping them like fucking Skittles, bro. You're gonna put
It's
someone's
peanuts,
eye
but
out.
yeah.
You're gonna put
Nah,
someone's
man, it's
eye out.
peanuts.
Yeah.
It's peanuts. It's dinner time, man. I'm fucking hungry.
Is that what they call them now?
He's getting these
Yeah.
nuts.
These nuts.
Nuts.
No, I got my Terramana for the people, and I got my Zoa. So I got enough rocks and pebbles. I don't need nuts. No, I had a hard time with this one because I don't think there was much consistency in the tag team division this year, at least for what I like to see. And then even when I tuned over to AEW, I thought the Lucha Brothers versus Young Bucks in the steel cage was a very creative match, but very AEW centric. And I know this isn't match of the year, but hear me out. The way I digest my tag teams, we grew up in the 90s, most of us, that tag teams were unique, but they all followed like the same rules, right? You could have a bruising tag team like the Acolytes, you could have the Rockers, you can have Legion of Doom, you can have the Steiner Brothers, all that stuff. You could have these different tag teams here and there. And you can kind of soak into their style and watch. And we didn't get that this year, at least in my opinion. I couldn't really digest a lot of tag teams this year. I know my pick is basically the Usos just for consistency on TV. I can't stand RK Bro. It fucking bothers me. I know, and because I know AJ and Omos isn't about tag team, I can't wipe that away. It's about Omos being on an elevated level. And I think 2022 is Omos going to sink or swim. That's 2022 for him, right? So the Usos is mine because it solidifies the Roman character. Plus, I mean, they don't fuck up in the ring either. So show me a bad Usos match and I'll tell you you're fucking lying. The only honorable mention I had was Imperium. We talked about this the last time I was on you guys' show. Again, thank you for having me on all the time. Anytime you send out the bat signal, I will show up. Dun, 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 dun. Imperium is fucking perfect. That's their job. Imperium's job is to be fucking perfect at wrestling. The match they had with fucking Von Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly, I'm looking at myself like, what the fuck is happening? Why is Von Wagner looking like one of the 4 best wrestlers ever? Because Imperium is that fucking good. Kyle O'Reilly's great at what he does, right? I'm not a big Kyle O'Reilly fan. He's not my cup of tea. But when Imperium is in the ring, I mean, fuck, man. Could you imagine Imperium versus FTR? Imperium versus the Usos? What? Imperium versus fucking Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston? Are you kidding me? Like, they are so fucking perfect. But it's the same Walter argument with me. How many Imperium matches have we seen? Just not enough. And how important are they to their opponents besides Von Wagner? So I went with the Usos because if they're in a match, and honestly, now solo, because they do a lot of solo stuff, plus their tag team work, their proximity to Roman, they're the most important, best tag team out there right now for me.
Hey, Justin, let's have it.
Okay, well, again, I feel like we're just all gonna have different picks here. This was, again, for me, even hard to pick. Like, it didn't really feel like tag team wrestling really blew up as much as you would think. Like, I wasn't gonna freaking pick the Good Brothers because fuck the Good Brothers and their tag team title reign that's been completely lackluster. Again, I wanted to pick RK Bro because I love RK Bro. I love the weird goofiness bouncing off of Randy's seriousness. I love it. It just works so well.
It is a good chemistry. That's what I think.
It's a terrible wrestling take.
No, it's good, man.
I don't care. I'll accept that terrible wrestling take. Damn it.
TWTakes.com for all audio platforms.
I wear them things like a badge. Damn it. But again, I didn't want to be the obvious guy because even for me, the Usos didn't really do much this year for me to want to pick them. So I went with MSK. to me, they had a hell of a year. Like, they debuted and just were unstoppable all year. Like, I don't even remember them having any bad match even once. Ciampa and Thatcher, the triple threat with GYV, the even one-on-one with GYV, the match with Imperium where they lost the titles. Yes, they again, their promos are like okay, but their wrestling is just so good. Like, even I remember watching them in Impact, and I loved them all. I loved all three members of the Rascals, even Trey. Like,
my apologies, Justin. I'm gonna ask you to pick your tag team again, because that's where I got cut off.
okay, I picked MSK. I had RK Bro as an option. I was even gonna pick Lucha Brothers. I didn't think I had enough to pick FTR. To me,
Sorry.
It's just he's nicking them peanuts like he's got like a no
I
gag
know.
reflex. Whoa, we need to hook up, bro. Like,
I'm fucking hungry.
You went full Steve Austin on us there, like just
proper
double fist him. Just
it's like literally necking them back. So who is it that's got to make a choice then? JB, you haven't done your choice for tag team.
Jordan was fucking Justin was talking.
Oh shit, sorry,
And
bro.
you guys jumped on me. He picked MSK. You gotta make him do this shit again. What the fuck? I ate my peanuts because he's talking, and then you guys jump on me for being a dickhead. Come on, man.
This is all staying in, by the way.
Yeah.
You know we
Don't
give
care.
no fucks on this show.
It's your
fucking
show.
A.
That's it, man. We don't edit for shit.
Dude, bring in one of your fucking guests from WCW. Let's talk to those fucking guys.
Let's get Chris Hamrick on here, bro. Fuck
Dude,
yeah.
another 5 fucking hours. Let's go.
Justin, apologies. Yeah. Please.
I picked MSK. They just, every other team to me didn't really have that strong of a year to me. The MSK went 200 some odd days as champions. Every other tag team was just doing bits and bobs, if I can steal that, here and there, and that was it. Like, they didn't really do much this year. Other than that, it was mainly MSK just running NXTs with a really solid title reign. They just recently lost it. Yeah, again, their promos are like okay. I like them. I liked when they were the Rascals, all three of them. I love Trey Miguel. To me, they were the team that just had a better year than most.
Thank you, Justin. Apologies for my computer apparently being a prick. This was the worst one for me because I found it really hard to pick anyone. FTR were close. I mean, I really don't enjoy the tag team stuff outside of FTR and AEW. I think it's very it's the gymnast show. Like, a lot of you see it a lot. You see a lot of the very, very choreographed shit, like over and over again in AEW's tag team division, and it doesn't click for me. Usos again didn't feel like they did a lot. I'm gonna piss someone off because I'm picking RK Bro. I like their interactions. I think they've been a consistent enough team for me that it could be a choice. Sorry.
How come he didn't get hit with the terrible wrestling take this time?
Because it's his show.
So what?
No, I get it. Look, again, the whole point of terrible wrestling takes is I completely disagree with you because I don't find them entertaining. But I can't deny that they've had the titles. There's growth in character. But for instance, MSK, the reason why I didn't pick them, the last fucking month of those vignettes, I am no longer a fan of MSK. When Riddle comes by on the scooter, and you know what, Randy, and you know what, Randy, and you know what, Randy, or then he dresses like Randy Orton. Okay, I get it. I'm cool with it. It's so over the top. I'm out. My perspective. I'll respect your perspective, but I'll also tell you it's a terrible wrestling take. I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong, but I'll tell you it's a terrible wrestling take. So, but I get it. Come on. They have been the most consistent tag team all year. If I'm not mistaken, well, no, I am mistaken. When did they win the titles? Was that SummerSlam? Or was that WrestleMania? No, because AJ and Omos won at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's right. So
I think it was SummerSlam.
So your tag team of the year has been as important as the person you didn't want to vote as woman wrestler of the year. I'll buy that.
Becky wasn't around before that though, before SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. So 3 weeks. Gotcha. Okay. No worries. Your show, your rules. Your show.
Thank you.
I'll make sure I don't eat any more peanuts.
You can eat them, just don't eat them as seductively as you've been doing, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'll stick my tongue out further next time.
All right.
Stick around to watch Bishop chug some more nuts.
If I walk into it, I walk into it. I'm not gonna. That one's on me.
We didn't want to pick a worst sort of wrestler thing because that's a little bit mean-spirited. We're not those guys. I mean, we can be, but we choose not to be in this case. Room for improvement. My first room for improvement was wrestling fans in general. Be better. The other part of it that really fucks me off all year round is generic pictures of so-and-so is all elite when, there's a sniff that they could be released or something. I fucking hate them. They're the worst thing I see online. And I see some terrible shit online. So people, please just stop doing that shit. If Chris left his job tomorrow, someone would put up Chris Dredd is all elite. Like, no, fuck off. Like,
only because of the pictures that you've put up of me and Tony Khan.
Shit, yeah, sorry.
Truth is truth, man. Live your truth, brother.
As far as a wrestler goes in general, it's Miro. I've been really disappointed with what I've seen from Miro this year. And now it's all God stuff and whatever. Oh man, it doesn't work. And they've dropped the ball with a few people in AEW, but in particular, someone as visually dominating as Miro or Rusev, however you want to call him, can be, they have really fucked it, and I'm disappointed with it. And yeah, it's a shame. I dropped the God stuff for a start. That would be my first piece of advice. But Justin, please.
All right. I went with Shotzi. As much as I love Shotzi, I never really saw what everyone didn't see in her until just recently. You can see how she needs to tighten up her timing a lot. She's still just, there's something off still about her, and she still needs to get it going. And I hope that if she's even does anything next year, I hope she tunes it up, because I really like her and I want to see her actually get somewhere with this instead of just always feeling like she's off and missing something.
That's cool. Chris?
Yep. Oh God, there's so much. It's so hard not to be negative, man. Room for improvement. AEW fans, I'm really sorry. You need to just be better. It's not just wrestling fans in general, it's AEW fans. Jordan, we've spoke about the WWE releases on this show. We've said it's gonna fucking happen. They had too many people on rosters that they weren't using, so they got rid of talent. No fucking big deal. Couple of them were a bit of a shock. Okay, fucking big whoops. Yeah. Now we have a time where we have already said this on the show that AEW need to release some people because they've got people on fucking dark elevation just being used for squash matches and fucking they don't have the infrastructure to make people stars. Really, they haven't got that. It's not working quite yet. And we're already seeing Jordan, someone you sent me a tweet the other day where it was like someone already trying to justify AEW releasing people. And literally like this whole year, they've been bad mouthing WWE saying, oh, how can they fucking release all these people? What, are WWE just supposed to be paying these guys to do fuck all? Like what do you expect? It is not a fucking, it's business ultimately at the end of the day. Like I run a business. If I've got someone that is literally just wanking in the corner all day, I'm going to say, sorry, mate, I've got nothing for you to do. You might as well fucking do one. You know, it's going to happen. AEW, you know, it was always going to come to a time where they were going to have to release people. It was going to happen. And they need to do it. They need to get a lot of the wheat, cut the wheat from the chaff, whatever it is.
I have to interject here because Chris, I know you run a business. If anyone's wanking in the corner, it's probably you.
It probably is me, right? Okay, not right now because it's a really busy time for me at Christmas. But yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know how my clients would react, but I mean, some of them might like it. I don't know. They might give me good Christmas tips, but yeah, it was going to happen, you know. So AEW fans as well. Again, the whole everyone's going to be all elite. No, they're not. You can't. Tony Khan is not the fucking Pied Piper of jobbers. Like, he's not going to just keep paying people just out of the goodness of his heart. Like, you know, and he shouldn't be. I mean, there's still people that have not worked hardly at all that he's been paying, like, you know, Joey Janela, like Sonny Kiss, you know, like there's a lot of people that they've been paying probably over the odds for that have done fuck all, have not even... They talk about moving needles. They've not even, you know, they've not even twinged it. It's not even nothing. You know, and he's starting to realize that you need the bigger stars, and then you need the kind of belows, and he needs to restructure. So that is AEW is one of my picks. Room for improvement, just in general. The bookers, the fucking wrestlers, the fans, just everything in general, room for improvement. Britt Baker in particular, room for improvement. The character-wise, I get it. DMD, cool. I think Bishop spoke about it before. Could she end up getting whole crowds that aren't AEW fans doing the whole DMD? Probably, you know, but at the moment, she is a storm in a teacup. She is, you know, AEW is its own little thing, and it's hard to extrapolate.
A fart in a bath.
It's a fart in a bath.
Yeah.
You know, it is.
You look for the bubble.
That's right. It's hard to extrapolate what they could be on a bigger stage without them being on a bigger stage. They could, you know, sink or swim like a turd in the bath. But again, another one, room for improvement. Excuse me, Ormos. He's one that, again, Bishop said, this could be his year, and I think this was the whole mechanism of him and AJ Styles was to push him to that next level, to get him. And you know, who doesn't like in wrestling the big fucking geezer just beating people up? Who doesn't love that? I love it. I love a big bloke manhandling other men. It's just what I like to watch. So yeah, room for improvement in general. Fucking AEW, just the whole shebang. Britt Baker and Ormos. There's probably a shitload more, but I just don't want to go on about it.
Before you start naming names, I'm going to cut to Bishop.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I I was hoping I could go last on this one, but then Chris stole my thunder.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Because no, I'm AEW on the whole. Shouts to the dogs. But let me pick it back on Justin real quick. I've had an issue with Shotzi since I've seen her. There's no one that looks like Shotzi, right? We can all agree with that. There's nobody who has character mechanisms like Shotzi does, right? She absolutely knows who she is. She absolutely knows she stands out. What's the other component? The actual fucking wrestling. She is so out of control. She is so dangerous to herself. I haven't really seen her too dangerous to her opponents, but there's, again, that maturation that has to happen. She is fucking years behind a Bianca who has grown into a fucking superstar. So something needs to happen with Shotzi to slow down. I know people have seen her on the indies and she's used to high-paced wrestling that's basically crash and burn shit. And you can't do that in the WWE. There's a story to be told. There's the ability to be invested. I'm invested in Shotzi. I think she is super attractive. I find her, and not just from a, maybe, I don't know, like an emotional standpoint or a physical standpoint, but like just optically, like you're drawn to her. She got the green hair. She wears different clothes and makeup than everybody else. But when you do that, when you draw people in, you also have to execute, and she fails to execute. So shouts to Justin for pointing that out. I would love to see Shotzi mature into, she doesn't have to be a technician. She just needs to be solid enough to take care of herself and then help take care of her opponents. But no, I am absolutely AEW on a whole. That's my who can improve. It's AEW on a whole. I would love nothing more than to love more wrestling. My problem with Impact, it's not on TV. If it is, I gotta fucking find it. I remember watching Impact during the pandemic saying, hey man, I wish they had crowds.
Watch wrestling.la.
Yeah, I don't have time for that stuff. I got a remote. Put the channel on. I put on TNT. I put on TNT because it's literally right next to USA, like it has been my entire fucking life. And it sucks. It sucks because they have horrible production value. It sucks because they don't know what they're doing with their fucking lighting. It sucks because every fucking wrestler needs to get their own shit in. Again, the Daniel Bryan Hangman match, I sat down and watched and gave my commentary on it for an entire hour. And all I saw was, we are going to operate in this 15-minute window as if we're warming up towards the 16 to 30-minute mark. And then from that, they're going from the 31. And I get it. It was clean. My problem is there's one time this whole year I saw a clean fucking match. I didn't watch the Daniel Bryan Kenny Omega match because everybody said it was a 6-star fucking match. What I knew was it was probably just a really good match. And to your guys' point, wrestling Twitter needing to improve, AEW fans needing to improve. Let's be honest with ourselves and be honest with AEW so AEW can fix those things and fucking improve. And when you choose not to be honest with this thing you fucking love, you're leading towards disaster. Tony Khan's spinning out of control with his daddy's money. They're gonna end up in a bad spot if they don't tighten things up, because let's hear me out. If they didn't have Daniel Bryan right now to carry the narrative, if they didn't have CM Punk before that to carry the narrative, where are they right now? They're sinking because they do the same thing every show, every week to cater to a pocket of people who definitely won't turn it off. I don't need to be a fan of them. I really don't. I'm an adult with a lot of shit to do. I don't have to watch them, and I will gladly not watch them. That doesn't bother me. Wednesday nights, I watch The Masked Singer. The Masked Singer finale just happened. If something else happens after Christmas for me to watch, I'll watch that instead. But even the Daniel Bryan Hangman match, I wasn't going to watch. And then I went and did my buddy's show. Shouts to Wrestling on the Rocks at Ref Marsh. And he said, fuck it, let's watch it together, do a watch along, live commentary on what it was. Be honest. Absolutely. That's what I do all day. Keep it myself. It was awesome for AEW. It was substandard for WWE because it was a back and forth for the sake of being back and forth, but there was no 1 hour story. Hangman wasn't selling his knee. Hangman wasn't selling his arm. Daniel Bryan sold his knee because he knows how to fucking sell a knee. In these moments, as adults, I cannot be blind to a lack of professionalism. And that's what I see on the AEW side. And I absolutely wish AEW fans, the ones that tell me that this was a 5-star fucking match or Kenny and Daniel Bryan was a 6-star fucking match, were honest with themselves. Hey, this was an awesome debut for Daniel Bryan. I can't wait to get the real match with Kenny Omega. Because when Daniel Bryan and Kenny Omega touch with raw emotion and a real storyline, it's going to be that good. But now it has to be a 7-star match because the first one was a 5. Be honest. Say it's a 3.5-star match because they didn't have to do it and they just went to a time limit draw for the sake of. Okay, that's fine. Because the next one is going to be fucking awesome. That's my problem with AEW, the fan base, and all that shit. Don't tell me how great something is just because it happened. That's why I literally would have turned this off if Justin gave Hangman and Daniel Bryan match of the year, because it was dope that it happened. But believe it, when they build the story off the draw and it does happen, it will be epic. Bianca versus Becky 26 seconds meant more than any match that happened in AEW this year. Probably opposite Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, because like you said, Chris, Britt Baker's been living off that shit since January.
Yeah.
The strength of that match has built her character for 11 fucking months, almost the entire year. Becky and Bianca in 26 seconds show you how important they can both be afterwards. What happened to Daniel Bryan and Kenny Omega since? Kenny Omega lost the title and he's off. But was Hangman beating Omega any more important because he tied Daniel Bryan a couple months before? No. But it's a 5-star match in the annals of wrestling history? Fuck out of here. AEW fans, be honest with yourselves and improve on the next level. If I did episode 130 the same way I did episode 1, just because I have Justin listen to me, shouts, doesn't mean I'm just as good as I was before. No, that means I'm doing a disservice to my own self as a craft. Fuck AEW, get better.
Man, that was fucking good. Sorry, I haven't caught up in that. Best on the mic. I'm going to give it to Bishop. Fuck it.
Fuck yeah,
what else
I'll
can
take
I do? Yeah, best on the mic is next. I had 2 really obvious options and a third option, which I'm picking because I want to. My 2 obvious options: Big Time Bex. You know, she can have a crowd in the palm of her hand any fucking time she wants. And the other one is a favorite of Chris's. Obviously, it's MJF. The guy knows how to handle himself with a microphone. He's really, really close between those 2 and my third choice, which is Sami Zayn.
Ooh.
Sami Zayn has been a fucking thrill on the mic in particular, like all this conspiracy stuff, especially the stuff he's been doing with Brock Lesnar. Like, I can't knock it. And
can I just say, bro, Sami Zayn stole. I'm going to do him for gimmick infringement, because when I was wrestling, one of my ideas for a character was the tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist guy
in 2008.
Yeah, man. Trust me, I was going to be doing this thing back in 2008, bruv. You know what I mean? Before even Flat Earth was out there, Chris. Bruv. I was going to be, trust me, bruv, I was going to be there. Conspiracy tinfoil hat, you know?
You're going to be tinfoil hat Chris Dredd before the Earth was flat.
Yeah, mate. Trust me. It was going to be amazing. But yeah, that whole character, like I say, sorry, man. Just, yeah.
No, that's fine.
That was going to be me.
Sami Zayn stole that gimmick from Chris. There we have it. Like that's an exclusive. Yeah, I'm picking Sami Zayn. So yeah, that's me. Justin, please, let's have it.
I had one obvious option and that was it. And I went with Edge.
Wow.
Edge to me has always had great promo work. I know Bishop, I remember him talking about how Edge during the triple threat build with Bryan and Roman was always saying how Edge was the reason why like he was getting into this, and because he wasn't really an Edge guy and he's not into his promos and all that. And I was like, Edge just, even with the Cena stuff, Taker years ago, like he's always had a great promo. He's always been good on the stick. And recently, everything, he's the feud with Rollins, the build to the WrestleMania match, even this right now, I feel like he's carrying it with the Miz. Edge to me is the pick.
Okay, Edge. Chris?
Edge is really good on the mic. The thing with Edge is everything he says is like believable. It has that like air of legitimacy to it. It's like you're not looking at someone who's just spouting spiel. You can look at him and you know it's believable. That 100%. I mean, best on the mic without mentioning Paul Heyman. You can't do it. You have to mention Paul Heyman at all times. Even the smallest things that he does mean a lot. MJF was also a pick for me, but I think again, and I hate to say this because Little Maxwell's my dude, it's seeming a little bit contrived now. Like the whole, I don't know, man. AEW seem to kind of, it's like they suffer from premature ejaculation. Like they get a little sniff of something good and they just fucking blow in one go. And they just like, yeah, let's just do that again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. And it's like, fucking calm down. Like, take it easy, man. Like, fucking it again with wrestling, whether it's promos or whatever. Take your time, man. Do things, build them up, man. Like, I enjoyed MJF's promo with CM Punk, but it was too long, way too long.
It was.
It was way too like, oh man, it was just fucking. It was good and it was bad. It was like I'm torn. I really liked it, but then I thought, nah, it's a bit fucking hokey.
That Miz line was pretty shit.
Yeah, and the whole fucking, you know, hustle, loyalty, respect thing, it was quite good, but then you think, nah, it's a little bit fucking hokey. Oh man, I love Maxwell. I love his character. But I just think again, AEW are gonna fucking ruin it, man. I think that if there's one guy that can, do you know who he reminds me of? MJF, a young LA Knight, yeah, but like, what was he in Impact? Eli Drake. That's it. You know, the whole Eli Drake, you know, LA Knight, like that kind of character. I think MJF, you know what I think the best thing for MJF would be? To get signed to WWE.
Oh, no.
Yeah, dude.
There's been talk that apparently WWE's interested in him.
I would say if think of the people that he could work with in WWE behind the scenes that could just give him that fucking guidance. That, I mean, maybe MJF could have been in the room for improvement. I mean, he was de facto in that by being in AEW because they just need to be better. But he just needs that professional kind of, right, kid, you know, he needs to be under the wing of someone who, because he's got that it factor. He has that thing. And he's got the passion for it and he fucking loves it and he lives the gimmick and he knows what he's doing. He's bringing back kayfabe to a point. So he just needs to kind of be polished to a point where he can just be more, it can just mean more. So it's not just a gimmick. You know, it's hard to put into words, man. It's fucking, MJF is like the most uplifting thing for me, but at the same time, it gives me a Mr. Floppy when I think about how AEW are just going to fuck him up.
Do you remember the question, Chris?
Yeah, best on the mic. So, this
Well,
is
hold
why
on.
we have JB.
Hold on. Fuck it. We're here. I don't know where we're going to do this again. Let me jump on that, because all I'm thinking to myself is, look, when AEW first came on TNT, I watched every fucking week, right? I mean, you guys probably saw it. I would take a picture of watching both, put it on Twitter. I'm doing both at the same time. I'm watching NXT and I'm watching AEW at the same time. I was an MJF guy. MJF got partnered up with Cody. They had a phenomenal story going. And I said to myself, if MJF as a babyface goes through 6 months, 8 months of the crowd getting behind him, and then turns on Cody, you have a massive heel, because we all saw it, right? Chris's point, for the last 2 years, that's all we have seen is that same nugget of character.
Mm-hmm.
But had MJF been a heel for 6 months, 8 months, I'm sorry, a babyface for that long, because it's obvious how much of a heel he is. But they had these little mentor moments with Cody where it's like, oh wait, MJF's likable because he's not talking and he's following the lead and he's nodding along. They cut the tie so quick on that. The MJF we got 2 years ago from basically today until now, it's the same MJF. That's back to the who can improve more. It's AEW and their structure. When people say that they tell stories, they don't, because they didn't allow that story to tell. The Hangman Omega storyline happened over 2 years because that's how much time passed. That's not how much effort they put into the story. That's not how much effort they put into give a shit. So to your point, where MJF could be best on the mic, imagine if he had more to talk about from his experience with Cody, as opposed to, haha, I fooled you for 6 minutes, or Jericho, I fooled you for 3 weeks. I mean, how long did they mesh with Jericho? Pay-per-view to pay-per-view? Like, it just, they don't do enough, and they could tell a story, sure, but they don't do enough to pull you in and push you away like they did with Roman and Paul Heyman. They pulled you in. We didn't know that was going to end on Friday, especially when Roman gives him a hug. Roman hugs Paul Heyman, and I'm like, okay. And then he delivers the line, thank you for being honest with me. And then you hear Paul Heyman, I love you, my tribal chief. Thank you so much, my tribal chief. And then 4 seconds later, you're fired. Who knows what's going to happen until day one? Building to a hook to get reeled in is not AEW's thing. And it could have happened. MJF could be a part of that, but no. If you tell me MJF had a promo, I go, okay, I get it, because he had a promo. So he's not best on the mic. Who is best on the mic?
And to your point, that's what I'm saying. He could be, and I want him to be best on the mic. He could be, and I want him to be, but he's not progressed, but not necessarily for his own. They've just told him, yeah, just keep doing that, bro. Just keep doing those one-liners and just doing that, man. And yeah, fucking, you're my guy, huh? You're my guy. You know.
What if it worked with Road Dogg?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to your point, what if MJF worked with Road Dogg?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, nobody was not famous or important or good at wrestling, but completely over as Road Dogg. Like, he doesn't go down in the history as one of the greatest of all time. But put Road Dogg on your TV. Is he not the best one you're looking at on TV?
It's that Enzo vibe, isn't it?
Oh, don't get me started on Enzo, bro. Like, you know,
get you started. Tell me all about
it. So, you know, so best on the mic, best on the mic. It should be MJF in the right atmosphere. I'm hoping, and like, even it's so fucking annoying. AEW have got some really good old school talent and mentors working with them. You know, I swear Jake the Snake Roberts is still fucking working with AEW. Why would
Who's better at a promo? Who's better at a promo?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? For fuck's sake. They had him in a ladder match taking some shit kick to the face or something. Like, come on, man. You've got someone who is like the epitome of psychology in your company, and he's never done anything on the stick. The fuck, man? It's like having David Beckham playing on your team and going, "Here, Dave, here's the gloves, go in goal, mate." You know what I mean? Fucking twat.
I get that reference.
And that's why I used Beckham, baby. I knew you would. So, you know, MJF should be, but I think Bex is probably going to be the one man for the impact she's made, what she was doing. And you know, I will say, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, dude. But one day, he's got the mic in his hand there, you see. One day you will be the winner of Best on the Mic. Fucking work.
It's a good thing that wipes clean.
Yeah, it's been wiped clean a few times.
Oh my!
He's the salt of the earth, dude. Come on, man. But yeah, it's disappointing. But yeah, it's got to be Bex, man. Sorry.
Who hasn't been yet? Have I?
I think me, but I talked a lot. So, but no, I have Becky too. I again, to my point of making her female wrestler of the year, is her ability to be on the microphone. And I've tweeted this out a bunch. Again, follow me at TWTakes podcast on Twitter. Becky's ability to know who her character is, but also know who her opponent's character is. If you watch her against Liv in a promo segment where Liv ain't the best on the mic ever. Like when has she ever had a microphone in her hand for fucking 4 minutes, right? It's not her thing. And shouts to her for keeping up. Becky was able to show sorrow, show that she fucked up, rebound it into, oh, I got dissed, let me get the one up on you. You know, she's had the ability since coming back to, as wrestlers would say, put their opponent over. Give the crowd a reason to give a shit about the one they're going at. But the key to me, when you look at the build to Survivor Series, Becky was fucking hated at SummerSlam. Shouts to some of you guys here. Becky was hated at SummerSlam. They moved to Survivor Series, and within 4 weeks, she went from people not liking her because of Bianca to people loving her because she's facing Charlotte to people hating her again because the crowd shitted on the Women's Survivor Series match. She has an ability on the microphone to know exactly who Big Time Bex is. Shouts to Charlotte for not being good on the mic, because she doesn't realize when she says, Becky, you were the last kicker. You were the man. You were 2 belts Beck. 2 belts Becky to Big Time Bex. Who are you? Who Becky is a wrestler who knows what character development is. Becky is a wrestler who knows who her opponents are and how important they are is. Charlotte is a performer who doesn't know how to use a microphone, except for maybe a couple things. I don't know. Her dad might have showed her. But Becky on the microphone, especially in the women's division, from NXT to fucking AEW to Impact, no matter what, there's 0 women in the wrestling business today that can get you to cheer her, boo her, cheer her opponent, boo her opponent faster, quicker, more believably than Becky Lynch can. And again, because she helped, because it's all help. It's nothing wrong with Bianca. She helped get Bianca to stardom. She helped us to give a shit about Liv. She helped us to care about Becky when facing Charlotte, to then hating her again after the match to care about Liv. Becky on the microphone, there's no one better. I do, however, appreciate Roman's ability to not give a fuck what the crowd thinks. I know you guys remember fucking 4 years ago, 5 years ago, he couldn't put a microphone in his hand without shaking and trembling because the crowd was going to say some shit. Now he don't give 2 fucks. And every word he says is so fucking important. And now the crowd waits for him to say some shit, which is phenomenal. And 2 other honorable mentions, Sonya and Mandy. I think Mandy's kind of found herself a little bit in NXT. And I think Sonya, because of the pandemic and everything she does as a, I guess, general manager or shot caller, whatever you want to, I think Sonya on the microphone is phenomenal too. So I appreciate all them. And then the last honorable mention, best on the mic, would be Pat McAfee, because he's a fucking Hall of Fame commentator.
Yeah, dude. Do good shit.
And Honestly, JB, like you said at the beginning of this, myself.
Just quickly to one of them points, though. Do you see how important it is, even for the tribal chief, to be taken under the wing of someone who knows about promos and knows how to work the microphone? How it would improve someone to give them the confidence to know why they're doing stuff, how they can say stuff, and just how to work the stick. That's really important. So if you take someone with the raw materials and then you put them with someone who can mold that and help them to improve, you can have yourself a superstar. And yes, correct, 100%.
Justin, did you pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I've been up since 5 a.m., man. What time is it now? It's like 11. Yeah, damn. I mean, this one was an easy one for me. Breakout star, because it's got part of the name in it. It's Bron Breakker. Fuck. Like, I mean, he only really had a 33 1/3 chance to begin with, but then once you put Kurt Angle in the mix, it was sorry.
And he knows he can't beat me at Sacrifice, yeah. So then add that to the don't, man. I fucking love that shit.
Sorry, yeah.
Gassing me up.
Do it.
Bron Breakker has been a revelation in NXT for me. And I mean, there was one or two that I was thinking about, like maybe Dante Martin in AEW, but then I don't know, man. I watched that match with MJF, and man, that was.
But again, bro, he's another one. Dante Martin, good. He's got the minerals. He can work. He knows what he's doing, but he shouldn't be on TV right now. He needs to be just like streamlining his craft. He gets too excited. You can see it on his face that you get that, this is the problem with AEW not having. I mean, I'm sure these guys must be working in a ring somewhere practicing, right? They can't. I mean, surely they can't just fucking every week. Just
QT has a gym or something. Sure, I think, is that right? Or...
QT Marshall has got the ring and that, but it's probably just. I mean, it on the outside, it's got the look of a professional company, but the inner workings are fucking outlaw mud show, bro. It is amateurs. That line, my favorite movie of all time is The Big Lebowski. And when I watch AEW, a lot of the time, all I can hear is John Goodman going, they're just a bunch of fucking amateurs. You know what I mean? That's all I fucking hear in my head. Yeah, they're good, but they're fucking amateurs, and it's yeah, fuck, man. Dante Martin, yes, it could have been him. But yeah, he's making too many mistakes. That match with MJF was fucking brutal, bruv, for some of the mistakes. Fucked.
I almost forgot best on the mic. Hook. Yeah, Bron Breakker for me. Please, Bishop, tell me.
Well, you guys made Bianca your female wrestler of the year, but she was breakout for me. I think her ascent, because Justin will admit he was on the Royal Rumble watch along with myself, Ref Marsh, and GR Lunar, if I'm not mistaken, back in January. She wins the Rumble, and I go, well, she's got 6 weeks to get her shit together, or 9 weeks, whatever it was, because Bianca in 2020 was not a good wrestler. She just wasn't. When you talk about supreme athleticism, when you talk about phenomenal look, when you talk about knows where she belongs, I agree with all that stuff. But we're fans of wrestling, so we want to see wrestling. And I never saw a Bianca match that pulled me in, that made me give a shit. And I said it at WrestleMania. She's too nervous for the moment. The bell rang, and she fucking killed it. From WrestleMania on, she worked her way into a feud with Doudrop where we're not questioning the ability of what's going to happen. Meanwhile, she never had a match of importance on NXT. And when she came up to the main roster, she's working with Bayley, seemingly from a podcaster's perspective, to get her shit together to be able to perform with other wrestlers. So while I definitely respect your guys' perception of Bianca as female wrestler of the year, to me, it's a breakout performance because before this year, I don't think she's in anybody's top 10. I don't think she's in anybody's top 20. She always had the skills, the ability, but never put it together. This year, she put it together to where if she main evented WrestleMania in 2022, we're not questioning it. Not because she did it in 21, but because she's that good now. So to me, I appreciate what Bianca did for myself as a wrestling fan to go from not really caring what she does in the ring to completely into what she does in the ring. Like I'm not a big fan. I just, she hasn't deviated from her tricks yet, right? She does the standing moonsault. She does the smack on the ass. She uses her hair how she needs to. Like Justin and his brothers say, she can't go to the ring without flipping her hair. Like she has her Bianca isms, right? But is she now, I have to watch every time she's on the TV? Absolutely. Was she in the beginning of the year? No, she wasn't. I didn't care if I saw her at the beginning of the year. Do I care now? Absolutely. To me, that's breakout. But I respect you guys giving her female wrestler of the year. But to me, she was complete breakout. I had no one else. No one else.
Justin, you're up.
Okay, I actually have two, and I'm not putting one over the other here. I'm just going to go with both. First off, Matt Cardona. Ever since he left WWE, he has been probably one of the best heels that I have seen. He is so hated.
Man, you just made Bishop leave, man. Like, what the hell? I mean,
he's hated by so many people in GCW.
It's just a pee break.
Now.
Damn.
He's for a guy who went from irrelevancy, doing fuck all, to going on to the freaking indies and just making everybody hate him. He's been probably one of my favorites like lately this year, and I hope it continues next year. My other one is Josh Alexander. This year was all his, from the X Division, winning the X Division title. Awesome run with it. The winning the world title against Christian, even though it only lasted like 30 seconds. Josh Alexander did an amazing job this year, and I would kick myself not giving that to him.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you on this. The Cardona one is a huge yikes from me because I don't give a shit about him. I think between him and Chelsea, it's a pretty crappy sort of, they don't do anything for me. I know they're on Impact. I know one of them got hit with a chair the other night or something like.
Mm-hmm.
And my honest thoughts was someone weren't swinging hard enough. Like, it's a huge whatever on that one for me. But Josh Alexander, my only problem. There's not even a problem with the Josh Alexander thing. He's sort of been kicked out of the main event scene on Impact.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Which
disappointing.
sucks.
Yeah.
Gave it to Moose and just kind of forgot him, which really freaking sucks unless this is just another strong build to get him back there again.
Yeah.
I think that's hopefully what it could be. I mean, because it's funny, like, so my breakout star is someone who has been in the business a while, but this year he has come back into the business and he is slowly getting to a point where he's involved. So it's William Morrissey in Impact.
Good one.
Because he's involved with the whole Josh Alexander Moose thing right now. Mm-hmm. So, and to be honest, I think his backstory and what we know from the fucking rag sheets, brother, alcoholism and whatever is fucking tough, man, especially when you're in wrestling or whatever. And yeah, cheers, Bishop. So, to come back from, because I'm not being funny, like everyone seems to think that it was Enzo's fault that they were kind of chucked out of WWE, but it actually wasn't, bro. It was fucking.
Oh,
Big
Morrissey was
Cass.
gone first, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was binned first, yeah, and then Enzo.
I still have got heat with WWE on how dirty they did Enzo. You know, when they had fucking literally just weird allegations that nothing ever came from, and it was proven
there was zero evidence and all that.
Zero evidence, bro. But they
Yeah.
still had like fucking Velveteen Dream on the fucking roster for a long time. They had other fucking scumbags on there, you know, and I just thought, man, fuck, talk about any excuse to fucking get rid of him.
The conspiracy theorist in all of us says that they just wanted rid of him.
Of course they did, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and nothing would make me harder than to see you know, Enzo and Big Cass on the big stage. I've said it before. No one since the New Age Outlaws had that much. They were over that much from literally doing fuck all in the ring. They did nothing in the ring. They literally did jack shit. Enzo could sell his ass off, you know, and then Big Cass would come in and boot people in the face. It's
a great boot, though. It's a great boot.
It's a great boot.
It's a fantastic boot.
You know, so yeah, it's for me to see William Morrissey back in the ring doing his thing. It makes me smile, and it was really funny. We spoke to. If you haven't seen this episode, go back into our archive and watch our 3-hour mayhem interview with Eric Watts. Eric Watts spoke to us about a Christmas party that he was going to for DDP's. It was like DDP's Christmas party, and it ended up being DDP's fucking wedding, basically. And to see pictures of Big Cass, aka William Morrissey, and there was Enzo just like in the side of these pictures, and I was like, oh, they're both there, my dudes. But yeah, it just made me really excited. So breakout star, I'll give it William Morrissey. He's working his way back through. He looks $1 million. He's in really good shape. Again, I'd like to see him on a bigger stage than Impact Wrestling, because it's not what it was. It's not, you know, it's not doing people justice. It's not, you know, it's a shame. But yeah, I mean, Bron Breakker, you know, fucking hell. He could be winning the ICO Pro Award, possibly. You know, but he's not quite at his uncle's level just yet. His uncle is basically the originator of that award for us. You know, if it weren't for Scott Steiner, you know,
which is a perfect segue, actually, because next up is our, you can see it, ICO Pro Jacked Award winner. Well, it's not, I mean, there was only 2 picks for me, and this didn't include Bron Breakker at all. It was Brian Cage.
Brian Cage.
An obvious sort of thing, and the other one was Jordan Grace.
Oh,
I'm not you know, I'm not being, you know, I'm not picky on this. Like,
I love Jordan Grace.
She said something on Twitter about people saying that a side effect from steroids is like a bad hairline, and then she put a picture of her up as a little kid with like, she's like, yeah, no, it's always been my hairline. It's like, all right, cool, but you're just fucking massive, love. Like,
yeah,
you know
it's a
I mean?
thick lady, man.
Don't
Mama pump for a reason.
Yeah, she's built for comfort, not for speed, brother.
Don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining. You know what I mean?
So those are my 2. Like, yeah. I mean, Brian Cage is always an obvious one.
Clearly, AEW has no wellness policy. We've said this.
Yeah, we've been over this already. Yeah.
Or someone else is pissing in his cup.
Justin, please, like, let's have an ICO Pro winner.
Okay, I got 2 as well. I got Hammerstone. Dude is fucking built like a goddamn skyscraper. Holy shit. My other option is JR Kratos. Okay. Holy shit. He is fucking massive. Like, I saw him when he was in NWA, teaming with fucking Aaron Stevens. Holy fuck, he is gargantuan. Like, I can't even give you a fucking like comparison to him. He's so big. Like, I thought like he was gonna be my main pick, but then I was like, no, I can't leave Hammerstone out of this one. Like, if you've seen him, you would immediately go, oh, okay, I definitely get why.
There's also another pick. Obviously, you guys will have never been treated to a gun show up close with Chris. I've seen him. You know, he's Big Papa Pump Mark II for sure.
I'm a meat lord, bro. I'm a meat lord.
We know you got the biggest piece, brother.
Yeah. You're talking about my nose? Yeah. It's got to be for me, Brian Cage, man. The geezer's he must love to ride a bicycle because he's been on a few cycles. It's Brian Cage, man. It's him. Sorry.
Brian Cage handing out COVID vaccines at the gym again. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Straight into the arse.
Oh my God.
Bishop.
While I don't disagree. Sorry, I don't disagree. I left Brian Cage off the list because I don't watch AEW. But as soon as you said it, I'm like, yeah, that guy has all the Ico Pro. All of it.
All of it.
There's no left for any. But if anybody had any before Brian Cage got it, it was definitely Braun Breaker and Hammerstone. But for me, the Ico Pro award winner for this year is Walter's Palm. Walter's Palm has ruined Ciampa, it ruined Dragunov, and it even broke a table. Walter's Palm wins the Ico Pro award winner for me. That Walter Chop is a motherfucker. And even though I said I would take one Walter Chop over 10 beats of the Barry because I'm one and done, I met Sheamus. There's a possibility he is on that list as well. So do I want 1 or 10? I'll still take the 1, but my Ico Pro award winner this year is Walter's Palm.
Sheamus has definitely had a few Ico Pro shakes, for sure.
He's sort of covered up now, though, isn't he? Like, he doesn't necessarily...
Suspenders and shit.
Yeah, he's... Okay, we move on to something else, something a little different, but again from us. It's the what the fuck. We have one each, one good, one bad. Bishop, one good, one bad.
Look, I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks, no matter what show I'm on or mine or yours or anyone else's, TWTakes for all audio platforms. NXT 2.0 is my what the fuck good, man. From the beginning, and our good buddy here, Justin, at JustInTime211, he'll attest. Me and him, we've been going on and on about NXT 2.0. We just put it in perspective. Like, when we're watching Black and Gold, we're screaming from the rooftops. This isn't developmental. It's not developmental. And it never was, right? Black and Gold was never developmental because when you saw Keith Lee and Karrion Kross go to the main roster, they get fucking thrown out by the wayside, and it just never adds up. NXT 2.0 has been developmental. But not only has it been developmental, you get short stories like Duke Hudson and Cameron Grimes, or Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa, or, I mean, even look at Liv Morgan. She wins the title, and her story isn't even with Raquel Gonzalez. It's with her partners, Gigi and JC, trying to get them elevated. There's these quick stories and massive presentation of characters like Tony D'Angelo and Joe Gacy and Cora Jade. That it's like, hey, invest in the character. And if you watch NXT 2.0 thinking that it's Black and Gold, you're not going to like it. If you watch NXT 2.0 thinking that's AEW, you're not going to like it. But if you watch 2.0 to watch developmental that doesn't suck, it's fucking fantastic. It's so much fun to watch. And the fact that people shitted on it before even giving it a chance is my what the fuck. The what the fuck good is the fact that it's fucking good. It's really entertaining. NXT 2.0 is so unique in the fact that when you watch the Ruthless Aggression era documentary on Peacock or WWE Network, if you're on your side of the pond for now, they show you that OVW was a training ground, a proving ground for on TV, in the ring, all this shit. And the ring is like fucking 12 by 12. But in NXT, they got a 20 by 20. They have professional cameras, professional production, professional abilities. Like they talked about on one of my last episodes, NXT 2.0 should actually be considered polishing instead of developmental, because I imagine with their performance center, they do all the development before they actually put them on TV. On TV is
done.
Polishing.
Yeah, how it should be done.
On TV is the polishing to see how it would translate to the next level. Tony D'Angelo is one of my favorite wrestlers in NXT 2.0 because he's really fucking good. I seriously doubt on everything that in 6 years, he's still Tony D'Angelo, this character. He's going to be something else. If I had to guess, this is him showing, hey, I can play a character, I can wrestle, I can tell a story. If he goes to SmackDown or Raw, it's got to be next level. It's got to be next step. So because it's not black and gold, because it's not black and gold, it's not AEW, doesn't mean it sucks. Watch it for 2.0 and see how good it really is. My what the fuck good is NXT 2.0. I think it's so fucking entertaining.
Just quickly on the NXT point, is Haaland meant to be giving me Nails vibes?
No, it's just obvious.
Yeah, it's just
a jumpsuit and a bald head. It is what it is.
I'm hoping they start doing distorting the voice thing. Really go for it on it, like
boss man.
Yeah.
Just quickly to that, right? I agree with Bishop to the point that I think what they've done is very smart with NXT 2.0, because I think they wanted to stop the comparison between NXT and AEW. And that's why they did it, because AEW and their fans, their entourage, always like to make everything about them. And they tried to, compare AEW and, the whole weekly fucking to and fro and all that. But now you can't really compare them. They do have a different look. And I think it's real smart what they've done.
You only have to, AEW was smart in the fact that you look at their logo, there's black and there's gold in there. They were trying to be like NXT, but without saying it's like NXT. It was one of those things. WWE made that smart decision to start, a rebrand, change some colors. We're not like this AEW crap. We're completely different. And yeah, it was a wise move. Sorry, where were we? Who's next? Justin.
Yeah, I completely went the same way. It's NXT 2.0 for me. I always enjoyed black and gold. I always liked when NXT was its own brand. It felt like its own brand under the WWE banner, which was still, I don't think, I told Bishop, I don't think I'm ever really going to like it more than I liked and 2.0 more than I liked black and gold, but I do like 2.0. I like what they're doing with this. It's building these characters up now, and then everybody that used to bitch and complain about, like, oh, why is this person come up to the main roster with a completely different character? Well, now, more than likely, these characters we see in 2.0 are what we're going to see on the main roster. It's giving you the chance to like these guys now before they get up there, and then you'll still probably like them when they get on the main roster. So 2.0 is it for me.
Do they still have like I say a developmental? Do they still have like kind of a live shows that are not televised or anything, where the guys can work that isn't like on the network or anything like that, like an OVW, like a FCW kind of thing? Do they have that still?
So house shows are still suspended, aren't they, for like NXT?
Yeah, that's what I would assume. Again, I went to a house show in a very populated area in Washington, D.C. So I don't know if NXT is touring to go, like off TV type characters. But the point I made on one of my last episodes was the fact that Braun Breaker was signed over a year ago. So he was doing something before 2.0 happened. Whether that's in the performance center or making the coconut loop, as they say, which is basically NXT going from their main location all around Florida, just in a circle making towns. I don't know. I mean, as far as the pandemic goes, Florida's been pretty open no matter what.
Yeah.
They don't care who gets COVID. They can just swallow it all. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I think the proving ground itself, Chris, to your point earlier, being in WWE, things that are in NXT, basically all of DX minus fucking Billy Gunn. The minds that happen, and shouts to Prince Albert. I mean, us as kids watching Prince Albert going, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, hip hop hippo and all that shit.
Fucking does, man. Yeah.
But like they say, those who can't do teach. And he gets heralded as a fantastic trainer. People fucking love him. Shouts to Scotty Tuhati, who just left. Another one who wasn't fantastic in the ring, but his bloodline is outrageous, just like Brian James's. The ability to help teach these kids when the cameras aren't on and prepare them for when the cameras are on. Justin and I just talked the last time we were together. Braun Breaker's 24, man. Well, he's 24. I mean, yeah, Sasha was world champion at 24, but I mean, Randy Orton, was he this polished and champion at 24? I don't think so.
No.
And this guy, honestly, Braun Breaker, as much as everybody wants him to, he doesn't have to live off his name. Randy Orton lived off his name without being polished. Braun Breaker's about to be completely polished and not have to live off his name. Come on, man.
Well, the not even a scary aspect of it. I think Braun Breaker's going to get better. There's more to it, and that's
already really good.
I mean, that just blows my mind. Sorry, Justin. One what the fuck bad.
Oi, I ain't done my what the fuck good yet, bitch.
Yeah.
It ain't this show.
I thought we was all doing what the fuck goods and then doing the what the fuck bads.
Yeah.
Go on then. Give me a good one.
What the fuck good?
If you want.
Yeah.
No. I've got a what the fuck good, but it is. Some people saw it as bad. The WWE releases, man, fucking good, brilliant, great stuff.
I mean,
You can't hoard all the talent, man. They don't need them. Let them go. Let them run free. You know what I mean? Had to be done. Brilliant.
My what the fuck good is it's Edge being timeless. I just every time I see Edge, I don't know why. I mean, he's getting on a bit. I'm expecting things to slow down, and it doesn't happen. And I'm sitting there going, "Fuck, he's good. Fuck, he's good. Fuck, he's good." Like each time, and that it is a what the fuck for me. Like how does he keep being so consistently good? Like, and he keeps, he's had these ridiculous sort of like injuries and took lots of time off and stuff, and you think he might have lost a step somewhere, but it doesn't look like he has.
Yeah, you're right. He came back from the tricep injury with Randy Orton to win the Rumble and go on an even better run. Because when he came back in the Rumble and got fucked over, and then the story that him and Randy told going into the greatest match of all time or the greatest match ever, whatever they called it, that story was the beginning of what we've seen today. And to what we kind of talked about earlier, we can kind of layer all these awards together, where Edge was so close for a lot of us on Male Superstar of the Year or Match of the Year or what have you, that Edge's ability to bring you in, something that I meant to bring up earlier on about Edge. When he won the Rumble and went down to NXT, Finn Balor felt not this important as champion, but this important as champion. He went up so many more levels, and I go, oh my God, I want Finn Balor versus Edge, just because Edge walked in the door. So to your point about what the fuck good, why is Edge this timeless? And to you, timeless, but to me, I'm finally a fan. If he can maintain his fans from before and also bring in people who didn't necessarily like him, I fully agree. What the fuck good, that has been Edge for sure.
What the fuck bad? I'll start because mine is Hit Row, man. Like what?
Oh,
I the whole thing, like, call up from NXT straight on SmackDown, do a couple of bits on SmackDown. Now you're all fucking fired. My biggest issue was that Swerve got done and B-Fab. I really thought those two had way more potential than the other two, but I just thought that was dirty. That was the one that I didn't enjoy. With releases and stuff, I thought it was some fuckery.
They don't always get it right with the releases. I will be honest. They have released a lot of talent, and they have released some that make you think, all right, so why did you do all of this and then release them? Some of them is hard to justify or, make sense of. But yeah, it's the whole releases thing is crazy, because did you see there was a picture on social media? I don't know if it was Facebook or somewhere, and it was Tony Khan, not TK AEW Tony Khan, the other guy. Yeah. Nick Khan. Sorry, Nick Khan. It was Nick Khan, The Rock, and another lady, who is the producer of a load of stuff for WWE and producer for other shows and that, who I think is related.
Young Rock.
Yeah, that's it. The Young Rock and all that. Yeah. So this is another thing, like, my what the fuck bad is like just toxic wrestling fans, man. Fucking hell. It could be a what the fuck bad every year. So on this thread of whatever was being said, The Rock's there with Nick Khan saying, look, us three, we grew up together, running around in Hawaii, fucking doing this, doing that, doing the other. And, we're real good buddies and rah, rah, rah. And then just the fucking tirade of shit that was just like underneath it was like, oh, Nick Khan, that guy who's fucking ruining WWE and fucking releasing all these guys and rah, rah, rah. And I was just like, oh my God, like, it's like backseat driving, but to the nth degree. It's like a lot of these people don't know their ear roll from their arsehole when it comes to how to run any company, let alone a wrestling company. So it's like, it's all just opinions that we've said this before. Like, we have opinions that we all have them, and we're having them now, but there's a way to put your opinion across. And a lot of these guys are just fucking assholes. And it's just like, I'm really sorry. Like, we're part of that sphere, that bubble, and the wrestling podcast bubble is pretty similar. Like, there's a lot of really fucking cool guys and girls doing this. Yeah, there really is. But there's a lot of fucking jagoffs, man. Like, fuck's sake. There's a lot of pricks who feel that, no, I'm so Jordan, bro. Man, there's a lot of fucking dickheads. So, for me, my what the fuck bad moment is just like toxic wrestling fans, toxic, like, armchair bookers and all this shit. Like, oh man, fucking get over yourselves, bruv. Like, some of you are fucking lovely guys, and you've got well thought out opinions, like our man Bishop and Justin. You are part of the wrestling community that don't just say stuff just to say stuff. Like, you think about this stuff, you do, but my God, there's some fucking tossers out there. And that is my what the fuck bad moment. Just too many toxic wrestling dickheads.
Just so you guys know, tosser is another word for wanker.
Tosser. Sorry. It's just,
well, I figured it was on the other side, just facing it. You know what I mean? Like, just
there was a famous tweet from WWE years ago when it's like it was Mick Foley and the Undertaker when Mick Foley tossed the Undertaker off of the cage, and Mick was like, "Yeah, maybe don't say like I tossed him off because that means something totally different in the UK." And like, you know, in the UK, it's a good thing to be tossed off. It's not bad. So yeah, but
I
yeah,
look forward to it.
yeah, man. Well, you've got to come over here for WrestleMania when it happens. I'll be eating my ass, and you might get tossed off.
A couple bips and bobs on a Jack and
You know
Danny,
what I mean?
we're okay. You know what I'm saying?
We're all good, man.
Bishop, what the fuck bad?
What the fuck bad is Cody and tables. Every time Cody has a table, nothing goes good, man. What the fuck? It is bad every time Cody has a table. My guy, one of my favorite people in the fucking world at JustInTime211, loves himself some Tommy End. He doesn't care if he's Aleister Black, Malachi Black, or Tommy End, or fucking the Earth's End when it was flat after Chris found out. I remember tweeting this fucking guy at JustInTime211.
Who's this
Did
guy?
you just see Cody get kicked, look at the table, stop, and then jump into the table? And he goes, "Yeah, I saw it." And then a couple weeks ago, this fucking guy, Cody, has a match with Andrade, L whatever he wants to be called.
Mm.
His wife, adorable. I appreciate her presence because she understands how to be cocky. Lights a table on fire for her husband, while Andrade has to sell on the top rope, just sitting there. Cody.
It was fucking hilarious. This cracked me up.
Cody fucking, what do we call this? A back superplex or a well, I mean, honestly, it's a back body drop. Like, what the fuck is it? Like, it's a fucking nothing move. He basically shoulder tosses Andrade, takes the entire back bump through a flaming table, and pins Andrade within 5 seconds.
And wins.
He gets offense after going through a flaming table. What the fuck? That's bad.
He is the table, bro. He is the table.
What the fuck is Cody Groot? Can Cody come out and just say, "I am Cody"? So when it comes to anything wood platform based, he can just go, "I am Cody." Mark all the tables, Cody. What the fuck?
He should
Cody,
just come out the King of Kings and fuck it all off, man.
It's incredible because look, I am again. Why AEW is my, I don't know, whatever the fuck we called it earlier, the most improved, fucking work on that shit next year. Who can improve? Whatever the fuck award. These are the reasons why. You have Cody. Because look, when I saw Cody and Jay Lethal with the bull rope match and he gave Jay Lethal the boots afterwards and all that stuff, I thought it was a fun match, right? But it was a small arenas, small spaces. They had kind of the same similar things as the Malachi Black match. Malachi Black versus Cody. He gets kicked on the top rope, had to look at the table first and then jump into it. I'm like, come on, Cody. Like, and then again, like I said, the flaming table spot. Cody's on the top rope. He's punching Aleister. He looks back. Fucking Brandy's lighting the table up. She's doing the pomp and circumstance. He looks back, punches Aleister, and then the back body drop happens. And Aleister goes, "Nah, fuck this shit. I'm rolling over, hitting my head on the mat, but I'll sell it for you, whatever. While I'm getting pinned, I'll put out the fire too." Camera work, production, all that shit. If you tell me Cody and a table's happening, I'm going, all right, thanks for the picnic. I'm going home.
I'm still bitter that he squashed Anthony Ogogo as well. So, like,
mate,
Cody's not. Yeah,
we had a whole episode as to why that could have been the greatest thing ever, right?
Yeah.
And we said, I hope they don't fuck it. And what did they do? Literally within days, they fucked it.
Yeah,
He stuck two fucking fists
No
straight
spit.
up there. And
They
just left
literally,
it.
you know, but what I've heard though that people in WWE are actually looking at maybe trying to re-sign Malachi Black. Man, there's talk that they actually want him back.
He'd be better used. Look, I'm adjacent to AEW. I don't follow it as much. I know Justin is a huge fan, so maybe he can speak better on this. But whatever happened, because we don't know, right? Spoiler alert to all fucking wrestling podcasters out there. We don't fucking know. When Alistair was feuding with Big E and then got cut, we assumed, because we heard there's names on paper with dollar amounts. They trimmed the fat, got rid of dollar amounts. Malachi was gone. Even Alistair said it. Like, dude, I don't fucking know. I got cut and was like, oh shit. All right, well, fuck it. Like, everyone I worked with was awesome. Doesn't want to burn bridges. His wife's doing phenomenal shit. She still blocked me. Go fuck herself. The point is, if he comes back, we saw the effort they put into him in WWE. If there's a collaborative effort, I have no doubt in my mind he'd be absolutely outstanding there, opposed to the bullshit that we've seen. I said it. Justin will remember this, and you guys too, because you listen to the show. Much appreciated. TWTakes.com if you want to find all audio platforms.
I love it when he does that.
When he debuted in AEW, he had an awesome entrance that got cut off by a fucking commercial before the reveal. He came out to the black lights and a fog and a light just on him. He goes to take his fucking mask off and they go to commercial. What the fuck did we just watch? They can tell stories though.
Shockmaster 2.0.
Hey man, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Come on now. Justin, please. What the fuck bad?
I think Bishop knows where I'm going with this.
Uh-oh.
It's Charlotte. Just some of the, not even some, the worst shit we have seen this year. She does, I'm not going to fucking just stick on this the entire time, because as much as I love to shit on Charlotte, I'm not going to freaking stick on this long. She does fucking nothing for any division she's a part of anymore. I don't know if she needs to just go off of TV and find some fucking new thing to do, something, but she does nothing. She makes everybody around her look like dog shit. She's fucking shit. Like, I don't know what it is. She ruins matches for me anymore. Like, even last night, the tag match, as much as probably a shit ton of people loved it, Charlotte ruins it for me, and I didn't give a fuck. She needs either to do something to fix herself or just go the hell away, because at this point, I don't think there's anybody that wants her around anymore. So she is my what the fuck bad moment.
I mean, not so much a what the fuck bad as a fucking burial, man. That was deep. Anyone remember when TWTakes used to knock someone out or finish someone off in UFC and he'd dig their grave like, you know, in celebration? That was
and drag them,
and
then drag them into it. Yeah.
That was I just had visions of Justin doing that there. That I mean, that was.
Is he wrong?
No, he's not.
Okay.
So.
The thing with Charlotte is, right, it is the classic living off the name shit. It is the epitome of my dad's Ric Flair. You should all fucking think I'm the greatest. Why do you not think I'm the greatest? I'm the greatest, you know.
Not to mention everybody else always says that her dad is the greatest of all time, and that doesn't fucking help either.
No.
But I wouldn't put Ric Flair in my top 5. I probably wouldn't even put him in my top 10.
He's either 10 or 14 for me. Like, it takes a while for me to get the Ric Flair.
Come on now. Let's not fucking get overexcited now, all right? He's to be top 5. Come on, dudes.
For who?
Ric
For
Flair.
British guys with big goatees? Come on, man.
Hey, come on. This is my Anvil Neidhart. I'm working on it, man. Working on it.
This is my I don't have time when I finish work.
It's a shame. No, I mean, Ric Flair isn't everybody's taste. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think I mean, to be fair to you, you know, greatest of all time for an era, maybe.
Absolutely.
But you know, he's of a different time for sure. There are people that have a lot more variation in their matches, but again, some people say that Bret Hart was one of the greatest of all times, but then other people that say, yeah, but you watch one Bret Hart match, you've watched them all, you know. Right. So it's fucking, tomato.
Yeah. No, I agree. And Justin, I appreciate you bringing up Charlotte for a what the fuck bad, because she is my always what the fuck bad for the last 6 fucking years. I mean, she's just, there's an inability to be there for your opponent. Obviously, as I've been tweeting out since the Toni Storm stuff happened, the first moment she had a chance to make Toni look bad, she did. Pied her twice without allowing Toni to get comeuppance, right? Toni had to stand there, take the second pie, and stand still while Charlotte walked away. Yet when it was Charlotte's turn to get pied, she's holding up her title. She drops it, the hand she drops it with, and you're a champion putting your title on the floor, not in the ring, but on the fucking floor, so she can put her hands up to not take a pie in the face, means you're not willing to be there for your opponent. You're not willing to look like shit for your opponent to look better. Meanwhile, Becky is exposing herself crying on TV for her opponent Liv, to show that Becky has vulnerabilities and the chance that Liv could beat her. When you don't do that for your opponents, you are what the fuck bad. Yet you got 13 fucking titles, and I'm supposed to believe it when you finally break the record. Show me fucking something from the last 6 years besides a moonsault that turns into a reverse clothesline. It should be called the go fuck yourself instead of the what the fuck bad.
But, I mean, think of all the people that Rick put over. Like, if she was going to learn anything from Rick, it would be how to get something over, put someone over. Because Rick did it.
Rick never
for
worried.
Everyone.
Yeah, Rick never really worried about looking like whatever. You know, the amount of times he'd been bare-assed and, you know, pulled off a cage and, you know, but I mean, at times he was a difficult fucker. Let's not forget, though. So maybe she's just got that kind of trait as well. Because
So the best example I can give you for what you guys just said is Sting, right? Sting is the biggest thing Rick ever created. What's the greatest Sting match of all time? Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Sting is a fucking icon built off the back of winning the title from Ric Flair, yet he never had phenomenal matches ever. His presence in the rafters.
It was probably the tag team match with Lex Luger against the Steiners.
Yeah,
probably his best match. Yeah.
So because Sting is not, and yet we can name 3 Roman Reigns matches from this year that are better than anything Sting has ever done. But Sting's an icon, and his legacy is built off of defeating the all-time NWA guy. So Sting is therefore the ultimate WCW guy.
Sorry, Bishop. One did come into my head. Him and Vader, where Vader beats him for the title. Sting was excellent that night.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No, fair enough. Like, absolutely fair enough.
The thing with Sting, I think personally, and I'm going to go on, let's suck off TNA moment, but the best Sting, yeah, you know, man, proper like
not that match with Jeff Hardy, is it?
Pepper grinder, man, proper pepper grinder, deep throating moment. But his time in TNA, he had some fucking, that was the best Sting for me when he was having matches with people like Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, fucking Jeff Jarrett, you know, fucking AJ Styles, Booker T. You know, at that era of the main event mafia and all that kind of shit, that was the best thing. You're right. He basically was up there because he was the kind of the icon killer. He was the legend killer.
But this definitely went from a shit on Charlotte take to a praise Sting one. But I just that was my whole thing, that if Charlotte's going to end up being in the ethos as one of the greatest of all times, the same way her dad is, and I'll take a bow on this. Even if I started watching wrestling in 93 at 8 years old, there's no Ric Flair matches from 93 on that are iconic beyond character work, right? Behind sitting in the corner going like this, don't hit me, or falling on his face, or taking a clothesline over the top rope 5 steps and falling on his face, right? He was all gimmick by then. So pre-93 is where he sowed his oats, and I didn't watch. So you're right, Chris, like generation beforehand, that's where he did his thing.
The 92 Royal Rumble. The 92 Royal Rumble was the fucking shit for Flair.
Same point.
Yeah, exactly. You were a year too late, man.
No, there was a couple of matches in the mid to late 90s of Flair's that stick out. But
and I won't disagree.
One of them, he's babyface as well. So it's not even like him doing the hiding stuff.
Oh, that's the one when
you
it
can
was
say
like
the same
career-ending match, weren't it?
No. This is the one with it was the 6-man against the NWO.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, really good.
You can say the same for Charlotte though, and Charlotte's what the fuck bad in being so bad. She's definitely had great matches, great moments. She's had awesome appearances on TV. But the bad, to Justin's point, I would believe, is there's a recognition and a hype around her name that is never executed with what we see on TV.
100%.
And it sucks. It sucks because just like AEW, I would love to love a performance, and you just can't.
Okay, we've got 2 categories left. Next one is biggest surprise. My biggest surprise is that Crown Jewel was as fucking good as it was. Like I'm for Crown Jewels that were so bad beforehand. This one was fantastic, and that was the big surprise for me. So, Justin, big surprise. What have you got?
I'm going with Brock Lesnar. The fact that he's been around so much this year, like he's been around way more than he usually is, and he's been probably some of the most enjoyable shit you'll ever see on TV right now. I go with Brock right now.
So that's Canadian hero Brock Lesnar. Cool.
Wouldn't happen though. What does Marsh call it?
Oh yeah, the Canadian alpha males.
There you go. Canadian
alpha males. Yeah.
Him and Sami Zayn.
Chris, biggest surprise.
It's only recently just happened, my biggest surprise, and it is Jeff Hardy, bro. Bit of a surprise because, again, it's been sullied by the toxic wrestling commentators.
I thought you were talking about Matt Hardy then.
Oh, right. You leave the fucking twisted one again, or else he will delete you. So Jeff Hardy, for me, is one of the iconic wrestlers, really, from when I was growing up, man. And I've got a little special something to show you guys as well. So Facebook Marketplace, right? You can pick up some fucking, we don't really have Craigslist or whatever here, man. Like, so Facebook Marketplace is the place where you can get some good shit. So for £5 English, which is probably like what, fucking $7 or $8 or something, I found this on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, that's fucking
that's skateboard?
Cool. Yeah, bro.
That's fucking cool.
SmackDown Hardy Boys fucking WWF skateboard.
That's fucking mint, man. That's not even worn down.
Nah, man. I mean, the top's a little bit, but fuck me. I'm not going out and skating on this, dude. Look at that. Look.
That's fucking cool.
It's amazing.
Kick flip into a swanton, man.
Shit, I'll fucking break my neck. I do that shit. £5 English that cost me. I had to drive to the next town. It was like 10 minutes drive or whatever. But yeah, Jeff Hardy, man, is a bit of a surprise because he's done some good stuff this year. He's had some good matches. I mean, he's old, but he doesn't really seem that old in the scheme of things when you look at him. So it was a bit of a surprise when he was released, and there was all the talk of, he was a bit sloppy on a house show or something, and then people were talking about, he's got drink and drug problems, maybe he's back on the drink and drugs, and all that toxic talk started from people that got their heads up their asses and don't really know what they're talking about. It might have been that, it might have not been that, but people were saying it as if it was like a given. It's like, oh no, clearly he's got to be fucking on drugs again or whatever, and then there was pictures of him and Matt, and then he was saying, Matt was saying, look, he'd done a drug test before he left, and then we'll see what the thing is. And I don't know, maybe it was a positive drug test. I don't fucking know. I haven't looked into it or whatever. But for me, that was a bit of a surprise that Jeff Hardy been released from WWE
especially after getting the treatment of a Stone Cold special and all that.
Yeah, man, it was really that was a surprise for me, because he had the broken skull. thing. And yeah, I mean, I fucking just love Jeff Hardy, man. I just like, you know, the amount of tights that I went through as a kid, you know, ripping the fucking, you know, and just, you know, fuck off, man. It's like, you know, man, shit. And I used to go around to my cousin's house and he used to do wrestling and that, and he was a lot younger than me. And I used to like swanton the shit out of him, the poor bastard. You know, it's like, you know, the amount of sofas we nearly broke doing that shit. But you know, it's that kind of nostalgia and that kind of thing. And the fact that he's still wrestling, it's 2021. I mean, this is fucking like 20 years ago, you know? It's a long time ago.
So
and,
good.
you know, the fact that he was still doing bits and bobs to a high level. And the fact that even, you know, after he'd gone to TNA, he'd been on a couple of indies and doing bits and bobs there. The fact that he got back to WWE and he was back at that level is just a testament to his fucking intestinal fortitude, you know, testicular fortitude.
Well, he was due a run in the main event, wasn't he?
Yeah. And he had a great matches in Survivor Series and that, you know, he was doing all right, man. So it was just a sad surprise for me, man. But we don't know what's going on. But
yeah, Bishop.
That just to piggyback off of that, I've said it actually on the Good Cop Bad Cop Wrestling podcast I was on last week. Shouts to those guys too at Could They Wrestle. Whatever's going on with Jeff Hardy, it feels similar to something that I have, which is imposter syndrome, right? You get to a point where everything's going good for you and you don't think you deserve it, so you self-sabotage. That's a big thing for me, my own self. And I hope that in us who have those flaws that end up making those mistakes, you realize what those are so you don't make those mistakes again. I was there for Survivor Series and I was shocked that Jeff Hardy got the reaction he did. But not only because I'm not a fan of what he's done lately. He has been perceptively out of shape, missed some timing. You know, the opponent has to wait a little longer to get the moves going. But realistically, I would say since like the middle of October through Survivor Series and even when he got released, he was operating on a different level. And when I heard the reaction at Survivor Series, not just for his entrance, because his entrance music was the second loudest pop of the night, but that build before he lost at Survivor Series, the crowd was all behind Jeff Hardy. So whatever dirt sheet wants to say that they knew a title run was coming, by being there and hearing the crowd, I completely understand why Jeff Hardy was a thing, even at his age. My particular biggest surprise was Chris is actually what the fuck good has been all the cuts. Justin and I talked a couple episodes ago on the Terrible Wrestling Takes podcast about WWE having more shows. If they don't cut these guys like an Adam Cole or a Bryan Danielson, and they move an NXT Black and Gold to a different time slot, it works. Because it's not my company, I don't know, right? I come from a food service background. If it doesn't make sense to be open on Sundays, you're not open on Sundays, right? If the WWE doesn't think a Saturday show would work, then they don't have a Saturday show. But if Keith Lee and Karrion Kross and Adam Cole and you name it, who's been released, Hit Row, all those guys, if they're on a Saturday show or even a Thursday show at 8 p.m. or a Wednesday at 8 p.m., literally WWE, if their old school WWE network said 8 p.m. Monday through Sunday, show 1 through 7 is at 8 p.m., I don't have cable. I don't have regular TV for anything else. I would just have the WWE network and I would watch wrestling every night at 8 p.m. And because WWE doesn't think it's necessary to operate in those time slots, and again, I don't know the business portion of it, I'm surprised that they would rather let these wrestlers go than create a new show on a new night in the same time slot that makes sense. For instance, Monday, Tuesday, they have Friday. Put a show on Thursday at 8. Shouts to Impact, but Thursday at 8, there's no competition there. If Thursday at 8 you had 2.0, because Tuesday at 8 you have Black and Gold, you have an AEW style show on Tuesdays. And then you still have what 2.0 is on Thursdays. You service both fan bases. And to be honest, you probably get 600,000 to 800,000 in the US both nights. You're not losing either way. That's my surprise. They would rather let these wrestlers go than create the opportunity to have more on TV.
That's good.
I think
Best on the mic 2021.
But with that though, I think with WWE, I think they are in a transitional period themselves as well, and I think they're like trimming the fat, if you know what I mean, and they're not really thinking to kind of do anything like that. They're not thinking creatively to that extent. I think you're right. Like, you know, with the fact that they've got the network, they could quite easily have a really good fucking show every night of the week with great talent. They really could do that. But I mean, you know, why they haven't, we will never know. It is weird that they would say, all right, well, fuck it, man, we'll just, you know, let them go, rather than do that. But yeah, it's I don't think they're thinking like that at the minute. I think they're shaping up to create, they're keeping what they've got. They're trying to streamline what they have rather than creating more, because I'm assuming it's probably quite a lot of work to create a good TV show, and it needs more investment or whatever. And I think they're just trying to make themselves look good on the stock market, if I'm honest. I think that's probably the reason. But you're right, they could. I mean, AEW have got, I mean, we had this conversation also on Good Cop, Bad Cop, that they've got, AEW have got more wrestlers probably than WWE has on all their shows now. They've got a bigger roster of all the people on Dark Elevation. You know, they're going to have to start letting some people go. They will have to.
Telling me people don't enjoy those 16 match shows on YouTube for like 4 hours long.
It's ridiculous, bro. And they're all squash matches. We've said they're all like fucking 30-second squash matches where they're basically just shitting on people just to put their bit. It's like I said, it's the Dark Elevation, and Dark is literally like a WWF show. It's like Superstars from the 90s. It's literally just squash match. Awful. Absolute dog shit.
Right.
They use it a lot to, like, it seems like also to give somebody a win when they're just about to lose all the time too. It's a stat enhancer pretty much.
Oh, I hate the fucking rankings. They do my bollocks in. The whole ranking,
anymore, pretty much.
Oh, fucking get out of my face with the fucking rankings.
Right.
The only rankings I like is Shabba ranks. You get me, Mr. Lover. Shabba. Fucking give me a bit of Shabba ranks all day long.
2 Christmas wrestling wishes for 2022. I'm going to go first because I've got to get this out of the way quick. Someone needs to confiscate Tony Khan's dog and bone and tell him to keep him off the fucking beak. Like, that is Jesus Christ. Like,
dog and bone means phone for any American
Sorry.
viewers that are
Sorry.
unsure what a dog and bone is. It's a phone.
He was fucking arguing with Fox News about ratings this week.
I saw that.
Someone's got to just say, are you sure? Is this the argument you want to have today? Like, go and sit down, have a cup of tea. Or I know tea's not a big thing there, but it might help him calm down. Like, he gets agitated at the weirdest shit. And, you know, and for what? Like, so his buddy can give him Booker of the Year again. Like, have a fucking day off, will you? Like, yeah, please, someone take his phone away. Tell him to just stay out of it for a bit. Stay off camera. I mean, Jesus Christ, stay off camera. That stamping his feet thing when he's doing his promos and interviews, like, it's hilarious. But
dude, he was never going to be an on-screen character. He was never going to be. He said, "I'm not going to be an on-screen character."
True.
He said that from fucking day one. And then all of a sudden we get 9 nights from tonight.
Yeah. One day there will be a greater power or a higher power angle on that show, and he will pull the hood off and go, "It was me the whole time," and we'll all just go, "Oh, fuck this," and turn it off. Wish number 2, I actually have 3. Wish number 2, our next WrestleMania show breaks all records. Bishop.
Shit, all you guys were frozen, but I wasn't. What I missed? Tony Khan getting off the beak. I heard record breakings. What's going on?
Yeah, our next WrestleMania show breaks all records.
What about it?
That's what we want to do. You know, we
Oh,
we had a record
gotcha.
for a long time.
Okay. All right, I'm here now. Look, so I'll just jump into my 2 New Year's wishes, right? That's what we're doing here. I was gone for 15 seconds. I feel like it was 3 fucking days. So when I first wrote this down, when you guys reached out, it was WWE to operate in more consistency was my first one. They do a really good job at setting us up for the thing that's going to happen. As you guys talked about earlier, Crown Jewel, right? Survivor Series was a little wonky, but post Survivor Series, things have kind of like taken off. But like the last 5 weeks of Raw have been fucking awesome, and SmackDown hasn't missed in like 2 fucking years. So what are we really asking for, or what am I asking for when it comes to consistency? It's more or less the IBC to go, hey, Raw was dope, as opposed to, I can't believe I just watched 3 hours of that shit. That's number 1. Number 2, my second New Year's wish for 2022 is for @JustInTime211 to release his own podcast.
I knew it was coming.
My 3rd wish was for Justin to invite us onto his show.
Should I break the news now then?
Holy shit, we got an exclusive.
Oh shit, here we go.
We're aiming for the beginning of the year. January. We're going to see it.
Does this show have a name?
Bishop knows. It's the In Time Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah,
There you have it.
We're going to make this happen. No matter how hard I freaking do this, I'm going to try my hardest and just freaking put this out there. And we're going to see if it works.
Oh, let's go.
Fucking tastic. The In Time Wrestling Podcast. Hell, I'm looking forward to it. I'll subscribe. I'll put it in the playlist.
I tried to let him know he has more supporters than I do right now. The plays are an automatic, man. Just get behind the microphone. Let's go.
Justin, Christmas wishes 2022.
I really only had one, really. I couldn't really think of anything. I just hope we see more people break out to like next year. I hope we do. Instead of it just being one person where we'll just sit there and go, yeah, it was just this one person that we could all say. I want to see a bunch of people just break out and be the stars.
That's fair.
That is fair. That is fair. And it kind of goes with one of mine as well, because at the moment, really, think about it. There's so many fucking good wrestling promotions that could be good. You know, we've got WWE has got Raw, SmackDown, NXT. We've got AEW that should be so much better. We've got like NWA. We've got fucking, Impact Wrestling. Like, there's good shit that could be happening. There really is. But for whatever reason, it just ain't happening elsewhere, really. People like to talk shit, but WWE really is the standard bearer right now of what is good production, storytelling, creating those younger stars. I mean, we're talking about Bron Breakker coming through and that kind of shit. Excuse me. So I don't know. Maybe it's because they overshadow everything so much that the other guys don't really get a look in, or is it just because there's just the other guys are just wanting to be so different to WWE that they're just fucking it up. And I think that's probably the reason. I would like to see, it's really a shame, man, because Impact Wrestling with a decent setup and a bit more, I mean, they've got good people working there. I mean, they've got Jerry Lynn and all that backstage. You did have Tommy Dreamer until the Dark Side of the Ring fuck up.
Yeah, I don't think they have Jerry Lynn anymore. I think AEW has Jerry Lynn now.
Oh, does AEW? Oh, right. I mean, dude, so how is AEW fucking up so badly, bro? How are they fucking up so badly? Come on, man. Like, seriously.
The beak, brother. The beak.
It's the beak. Bruv, it is, you know what it is? It's that smart mark attitude that is fucking AEW up. Yeah, so my second point going on to that was AEW. I want to fucking, my New Year's wish is I want to watch AEW show and just go, you know what? That was all right. That was. I hate myself for hating it so much, because when it first started, we said it was like, yes, a new wrestling show. Chris Jericho is going to be there. They've got all these young fucking guys. They've got all these indie guys from here. Like, they've got Jake the Snake Roberts. They had fucking Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, all these fucking guys. How are they fucking it up so bad? And it is that smart mark. Let's just appeal to a very tiny demographic. We don't want the kids watching it. That's why they swear far too much on the show. You could have two different shows. You could have one that is more, like I say, child centric, but like, dude, when kids want to buy t-shirts or foam fingers, their parents, they say, dude, I want a foam finger. I want a fucking t-shirt. They can sell that merch on a bigger scale. Do you know the only people that are buying AEW figures are fucking grown men like me? That's it. There's no kids buying AEW fucking figures. There ain't. Maybe there's a few buying Darby Allen ones, or whatever. But on the whole, the demographic is your Japanese wrestling is the fucking greatest thing ever. Let's just see crazy fucking spot fests. WWE sucks. Fucking, that smart mark mentality. And it really upsets me, man, because, we love WCW, and even Eric Bischoff, whether you love him or you hate him, he's like, AEW are fucking lucky, they really should be doing better. There's no reason why they can't be doing better. It's just they are their own wall to their own success. They are creating their own problems. When these things, come on, man, you've got fucking Goldust working for you. He was working in the Attitude Era. You can't tell me he don't know. These guys, these older guys that are working in AEW, you can't tell me they're not watching this and going, man, this is fucking trash, bro.
It's the ability to listen, right? It's them talking to the younger generation that are in control. Yeah. And those guys' ability to listen. Yeah. That's why Mike Chioda left. He was like, fuck it. They don't want to listen to what I'm doing. It's
falling on deaf ears. Yeah.
How great is Chioda as a referee in making you believe that the wrestler doesn't want to listen to them, yet still being in the right spot when the match is all said and done. Yet the referees on AEW are dog shit, and it's when the biggest caveat I had for the Daniel Bryan Hangman match was that I was watching it from a WWE eye. I get it. I know how I watch wrestling. And it was a very, very clean, very, very good match. It wasn't great. It was nowhere near match of the year, Justin. You can have it on your list all you want, but that match can go fuck itself when it comes to match of the year. My point is that I agree with you, Chris, that AEW has very, very little to listen to be great.
Yeah.
Because the talent is fucking impeccable.
It's there.
There's a 0% chance of them listening to anyone because, you know, Mr. Beakmeister is all over the beak and can't put it down. And he doesn't choose to divert himself to someone with more of a wrestling mindset. The whole argument about WWE being sold to like a Disney or a Fox or whoever, there's going to be this Turner AOL Time Warner aspect where a wrestling person won't be in control. Oh, and it'll be fine, right? Because they know how to produce TV. Look at what's happening now. You have a guy with $7 billion. Sorry, his dad has $7 billion. And with his allowance, he's opening a wrestling company. And he's not a wrestling guy, but he's a wrestling fan. Look, we're wrestling fans, right? If you gave us the pencil and we sat in front of TV, we would do cool shit that would make fans pop. But at the end of the day, it'd be torn apart because it lacks cohesiveness because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. That's what AEW is. It lacks cohesiveness because Tony Khan doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. If he allows a Dustin, a Cody, an Arn, a fucking Dean Malenko, a fucking Tully Blanchard, anyone that's fucking 20 years older than him, show him, hey, while this headlock is happening, have your camera guys go to that angle instead of this one. It'd be fucking palatable. Hey, while Cody's on the top rope, don't show his wife lighting the table. Or when he takes the entire bump himself, don't show just his back going through it. Or while he has to look at the table to jump to the next one, why don't you focus from the bottom up instead of the back of Cody looking at Alistair, looking at the table, looking at Alistair, and then jumping off? It's fucking stupid. But because those moments don't happen, I get to pick it apart and tell AEW douches that, hey, you're a fucking idiot for saying this is awesome.
I like to think in an alternate universe, Jim Cornette works for AEW and, you know, they can listen to him for, you know, yes, he's got some fucking hot takes. Yeah, he's got some fucking out there opinions, but he knows how to book wrestling. He knows how to fucking the psychology of the business and how to build angles up and stuff. And yes, you can incorporate the newer style of working matches or whatever, you know, because you know he might be a bit outdated in doing that, but you've got to listen. You've got to have that kind of, like you say, that cohesive telling a story from week to week, and not these pick 'em up and drop 'em angles that happen. They're gone in the fucking blink of an eye, and quicker than you can say I've bust my nut, they're finished. So yeah, I mean, there's so many older guys working there, but they do. Tony Khan's not listening. I'm the boss. This is how we're fucking doing it. You know, he's got the sycophants around him who they're getting a good wage, they're getting paid, and they don't want to rock the apple cart. So they're just like, fuck it, man, just do whatever, bro. It's not my fucking money, you know, which isn't necessarily the best attitude to have. But hey, if you're getting a good fucking payday, ultimately they don't care. So yeah, long and short of it is, my New Year's wrestling wish is, please AEW, start listening to some other people and just be better, please. I want to watch a show and just go, that was all right, I enjoyed that, and not be able to just go, God, fucking hell, what are they thinking? You know, I really just want to watch it and go, yeah, that was really good. That would make me happy.
I got one more, and this is selfish as fuck. I don't care. I genuinely wish that the 3 podcasts that are now part of this show, like tonight, all get wildly successful, and the next time we do this, we can do it in a pub together in front of each other. And because a chat like this is fucking awesome, but imagine us in a pub just before WrestleMania or something. You know, I mean,
Drinks on me. Drinks on me.
I mean, yeah, that's, and I can't thank you guys enough for coming on, because we have probably broken Eric Watts' record as well for this. And yeah, it's been amazing. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I've been working today. Like, it's one of those things, but I could just keep doing this. Like this isn't
Yeah,
For me,
it
you
doesn't work
guys,
for me. It's just it's so
closest
much
face
fun.
to face is this is the best part right now.
I tell you, I know I can ramble and I know I can kind of hijack my moments and everything, but JB, you said in the beginning about, you know, how much I've been involved in what you have done, and you know, I piggyback that and how much you guys have been involved. I get fucking bothered when you guys take so long to release an episode because you guys and your chemistry and the way you guys talk about things and the way you guys, I mean, Chris, dude, in this same episode, you went from praising so much about AEW to wishing them to be better. So you understand that they're a shit product, but you find the moments that make you enjoy wrestling. That kind of love for wrestling doesn't exist on podcasts because, again, like you ripped on this show, is the podcasters out there who have to tell you all which way from Saturday how you're fucking wrong or how this is great and interject negative energy. I've told you guys for well over a year, I don't listen to another podcast that loves wrestling as much as you guys do. Unapologetic. You guys fucking love wrestling to the point when you guys did your first interview, I was like, man, I thought you guys were going to mark out because you love wrestling so much. But that love doesn't take away from the enjoyment you get from producing shows. I can't thank you guys enough for the support. I mentioned it on Good Cop, Bad Cop as well. And I told Justin before, said it on my show, I'll say it on your show. Once a week, once a day, I think about ending my podcast because of how much work it is, how hard it is to do it. And at the end of the day, I know that the podcast and sitting with you guys is an outlet for me to go into a different mode, into a different style of my life. So I know it's always worth it to turn the computer on and to speak my shit. So doing it for me is one thing. But again, JB, the way you show the love for me, Chris, the way you almost show the love for me because you haven't ordered a shirt yet. Justin, dude, you know I can't thank you enough. From Twitter co-host to busting down the real forbidden door and allowing a fan on a podcast. Like, these are the moments where we get to look back on the entire 2021. And when the world is in a fucking shit bag after cleaning up your dog from the sidewalk, we can go, we have our thing. And our thing is this wrestling podcast community, our side of the IWC, the conversation, the love, the respect, the appreciation. JB, Chris, thank you so much for having me on the show. TWTakespodcast.com for all audio platforms, at TWTakes on Twitter. Justin, I'm sure I will see you very soon.
Oh, it'll be probably soon.
We're gonna have a plug counter for this one for Bishop because I know
And I held back.
Sorry. Them cheap pops, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
love them.
Justin, you've said it yourself. You know, you've got it coming. The podcast is on its way. We cannot wait to hear it. We've heard you on pretty much every other show that we listen to, so it's finally happening, and we are thrilled.
I appreciate that from all you guys, even Bishop too. Like, every time you guys do just put me over so much, and I don't know why. It's just freaking crazy. I don't get it. I do not understand it. Like, even how everybody got our side of the IWC and even that like stuck. I never would have expected something like that would stick to where people would go, yeah, this is actually a thing. You guys can stay over on that side and just bicker and argue and call each other idiots all you want. We'll just be over here hanging out, having a good time, talking wrestling, making some fucking awesome friends. It's just amazing. I can't thank all of you enough, like, seriously, for even letting me on the shows. Like I said, even just meeting you guys today, like face to face, like, or the closest to face is just enough for me for today. Like, and then we had this awesome conversation all day. Like, it felt like hours on end. It's been awesome.
Man, we appreciate you coming on, man, because we say, Jordan, don't we? We're just a fucking couple of jabronis who just like talking about wrestling, and we love wrestling. And it's like, from training in wrestling and fucking having a look at the business from that point of view, but just to like sitting down and just watching stuff on TV and being able to meet other guys. I mean, we never thought that we would have guys from America that we're close with and that we chat to on a regular basis. You know, we never even dreamed we would have, you know, wrestlers on the show. We never dreamed that we would be talking to fucking Santino Marella or, you know, Chris Hamrick or fucking, you know, Eric Watts or like, you know, Sonny Ono or anyone like that, man.
That's Wonder Kid.
That's Wonder Kid. But we can't
Wonder
forget Alex. You know what I mean? So we never even thought we were going to do that. We never, and it's a real positive message. It's like, and that's why I've loved this episode, because it hasn't been like trash talking or copping a squat and shitting on everything. It really hasn't been. Like, it's been uplifting and it's been beautiful, and it has been the 2021 fucking Chat Grapple and Cheap Pops GRAPPY Awards stroke bits and bobbies.
Bits and bobbies.
So the bits and bobbies. There's I don't know if you guys know, there's a rapper in the UK called Wiley. He's like a grime rapper, right?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
And he had a video, and I sent it to Jordan the other day. I was like, dude, he's saying bits and bobs at the beginning of the video. And he's like, he's walking through London just on his phone going, yeah, bits and bobs. And I'm blatantly taking that, and I'm going to put it at the beginning of some of our shows because it was fucking hilarious, man. So
I've even been saying it a lot too. I like every time I keep hearing it all the time. I'm like, this, and that, and I'm like, and all these other fucking bits and bobs, and I'm like,
yes, got to pop for the bits and bobs.
Yes.
But this is how fucked up. I didn't even whip out my WWE Christmas stocking that I always bring out every year. Like, it's, you know, one of those things. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. You know, Chris. I know Chris is the man for toys, games, action figures, and now skateboards, apparently.
Bro, this skateboard is one of my prized possessions now. It cost me £5. Are you fucking joking? Like, I saw it on, I was like, no, we're going, love. We're going. We're going to pick it up. It was right near Matty's house. Don't tell him that, because he could have fucking grabbed it.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? Matty Dennis. Shout out to the Cactus Matt.
Cactus Matt.
But,
yeah,
do your thing, bro.
Let's let these guys go. Like, we thank you so much for coming on, like, you know, giving us all this time as well, like, because time is precious for everyone. I'll say Merry Christmas to you both. Have a wonderful Christmas, have a wonderful New Year with your families, doing whatever it is you're doing. Like, take care, guys, and, you know, we'll catch up again.
You're drinking eggnog. Are you going to be on the eggnog? Yeah, is that like a
I don't
Christmas
drink
thing?
that shit.
No,
I don't drink that shit.
Oh, you're letting me down. All my American stereotypes are falling on their ass.
Oh, I'll fall on my ass. It just won't be from eggnog. No, again, thank you guys so much for having me on. One last plug for one last time. I'm Bishop from the Terrible Wrestling Takes podcast at TWTakes podcast on Twitter, TWTakesPodcast.com for all audio platforms, TWTakesPodcast.com/TWTs for the dopest merch, fastest shipping in the podcast game. Check me out. JB's got the TWTakesPodcast.com/international t-shirt from the Teespring site. But yes, thank you guys so much. You guys know I absolutely adore you guys. You are two of the most beautiful people on our side of the IWC. Your show keeps me moving. It makes me laugh. I cannot get enough of you. So please, as much as people ask me to go for an hour, why don't you guys drop a fucking episode?
All right, we've got.
So thank you so much for having me on.
We got it.
Butter's more than one person's parsnip. That's ridiculous.
No, that's right, man. I'm going to butter your parsnip. We've got a new episode coming up soon. It's the Revolution Pro show that we went to, that we spoke about with the match that we watched live. We are going to put that episode up soon. We'll probably bang it out before Christmas, just before the New Year. When are we going to put this out, Jay?
Oh, it's got to be between Christmas and New Year, isn't it?
Yeah. So, you know, I'll put the Revolution Pro one up soon. You're going to get that soon. And then this one, so the Revolution Pro one would have come out before this, guys. So you can't bitch and moan anymore. So, thanks for having us, and thanks for just being on. And this is Chat Grapple and Cheap Pops, Grappy's Bits and Bobby Awards. And we love everybody for listening, watching. Touch our bells, slap our bells, do whatever, slap those bells, man. Make it count. We don't want your money. We want YouTube's money. So let us get that ad revenue, and then you can just skip, you know, when it says 5 seconds, you can just fucking skip it. But thank you for joining us. Fantastic. Have a good Christmas and a good New Year.
Take
Peace
care, everyone.
out.
Merry Christmas.